Hello.
Yeah.
All right. I believe we are. I think we're live. Oh, let me refresh here. And yes, I believe. I believe. I believe we're live. I believe we are live.
Hey, not Memorex.
So
the hell, Midnight Range is live.
Oh my god! Or at least I got a notification. Holy shit! I mean, could be worse. So again, just like last week, not that it matters because last week's episode is floating around in space somewhere apparently. So we're going. It would not let me schedule my show, so it's just only letting me set it up and then go live. So it's super weird. Daniel Pfeiffer's out there, so notifications are going out. So we're going to give it 2 or 3 minutes here, and then we'll start yakking. So, I get a couple of articles.
Start yakking now?
Yeah, you can start yakking. Go ahead, have a yak, yakety yak,
yakety yak.
Don't come back.
Bump.
That's right. Nope. Now we got a copyright strike. Thanks a lot. Now they're going to pull this one down.
Way to go. Well, this one's done.
Thank you.
Shit.
This one's screwed already.
I didn't even know last week's show got pulled down until New York Outcast sent me an email. And he said, "Hey, why'd you pull down last week's show? It was a really good show. I was going to go back and listen to it. Listen to it again." I was like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro." And I went to my channel, and it just was not there. It was gone.
Yeah, I did that too. I checked it on Monday or Tuesday. I was about to check. I'm going to go check out the show. And next thing I know, this show has been taken because of some violation of YouTube. I'm like, what? What happened?
Yeah, they got off. I don't even know. And that's the worst part is Ape, what's the matter? Ape says, "The fuck? Did I miss you on the links maybe? I don't know. We'll see. If you need a link, if I missed you on links, let me know. I'll get you one."
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's the shitty part about it, man, is I have no idea. Yeah, we're good. We're solid. I have no idea what it was. I mean, you guys all know. It's fucking, they yank it and you have no idea. You have nothing to do, but you can't do anything about it. So
I know that. I know that when the stream ended, we all started talking crap about everybody. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I could have been it, No, but yeah, it was kind of weird because I just saw that. I know that YouTube was the one that took it down. I was like, well, what the heck happened? Just like what happened with Matt last week. He was having a show and boom, they knocked him out for some strike. Yeah. And he's like, what did I do?
What's funny too is, so my show got pulled. Rob sent me that email and it was like Monday afternoon. Rob sent me that email. And then Matt's show came on, and Moo had sent me a text, and he said, "Man, Matt's talking about all the same stuff you were." And I was like, "Oh, yeah?" And then his fucking show went black. And I was like, "Oh, shit." His show just they pulled it right in the middle of the stream. So something that we were yakking about, one of the videos or something they didn't like. I mean, then we talked about some heavy shit, and but it's a shame because no context. Well, no context is ever taken into account either. I mean, just because you're talking about, quote unquote bad stuff, doesn't mean you're promoting it. Doesn't mean you're for it. Doesn't mean you're anything. You're trying to like spread fear or hate. You're talking about, you're talking about shit. So yeah, it really sucks. But and not knowing what it is doesn't give you the ability to go back and even edit it out. So,
spreading hate. Have you seen some of the political ads or the BLM commercials that they've had before some of these videos? Yeah, you want to talk about spreading fear and hate.
Let me send Monkey Man a link here. I must have missed him. I must have missed him accidentally on purpose. You know how it is.
Well, this one's getting pulled.
Midnight said monkey man. Use the racial slur. Way to go.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
it wasn't a racial. It wasn't a racial slur till you said that. Now it is. Now I'm screwed.
Yep.
It's like when Matt was out there saying roof Koreans. I said, no, that's not PC. Say roof Asians. That includes everyone, all the Asian community.
Anybody can be, right? Yeah. We're not excluding anybody. That's like because of Kenosha, they had all the roof Kenoshan memes too. I thought that was pretty witty. Roof Kenoshans. Yeah, roof Kenoshans. All right, so roll call. What's going on, buddy? I don't know that you're going to get wound up some bitch of the week this week. I did watch Budget Show on Friday, so.
Yeah, he's a good contender for it. He always puts up a good fight, and I think he won it again this week. It's never easy in this line of getting wound up and being a son of a bitch.
I don't know. You seem to be pretty good at it.
Well, no, it was funny because Budget he even said at the beginning, he's like, I age restricted this, so we're not going to be as, you don't have to be as PC as usual or whatever he said. And he started throwing F-bombs around and shit. And I was like, oh, it's going to be like that kind of show. Huh? Okay.
Oh, it's that kind of party.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. So what's going on, buddy?
Nothing. I had a great experience the other day. I went to a couple of friends' houses, and we went and shot all day, man. I think I shot, I don't know, 7 or 8 really cool guns, man, that really had me thinking about my next purchase in the future. I shot suppressors. I shot a Scar. I shot a Mark 18, and I shot my new gun too. I mean, and then my CZ that I have, that SP01 at 75. We took the suppressor off, and we shot that. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that I want now, man. You guys gotta watch out when you have friends that have money and they have good stuff. Oh man.
When you said you go into your friend's house and shot 7 or 8, I thought you were going to say 7 or 8 rounds. Because ammo is so hard to find. We shot like 8 rounds. It was amazing.
He texted me while I was at work, and at that point he had filled up a 5-gallon bucket full of brass, and he said it wasn't done yet. I think in today's prices for ammunition, I think we shot about
like $40,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially the 308. That 308's not expensive, or it's very expensive, and it's hard to find. You can't find it anywhere. So
yeah, I'll tell you what's
amazing.
What's funny is the kind of I don't have a whole lot of 308, but the last couple times I bought 308, and I ended up buying Federal soft points because they were like $17 or $18 a box, and everything else was more expensive. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't care what it is. It's good to have some soft points around anyway, but yeah, it's weird. Wow. I haven't bought anything in forever. I haven't even bothered to look. My brother-in-law texted me Saturday, and he said, do you know where to get any 223? And I was like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
hop
not
in the DeLorean and go back to.
Yeah. I'm like, not locally. I was like, you could try Academy, you could try Bass Pro Shop, you could try a couple of places and have them shipped to store maybe. We don't have an Academy here, but they still do like $25 free shipping or whatever, which doesn't take long to get the $25. But locally, I mean, it's hard to find anything, that's decent priced. Anything you come across is like, some high-end self-defense ammo or hunting ammo and stuff like that. And it's just some of the high-end varmint stuff. And it's like, you're not going to pay $20 a box. So, yeah, it's pretty nuts. So just sitting on it here. George, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for the invite. Good to be here. How much? I just got back I got home back from a nephew having a birthday party,
Oh, cool.
And, just got together, the family. That's the only time we ever, really been getting together is usually like in these small, either holidays or somebody's birthday and stuff, we're not a lot of people, so keep it minimum. So that's not so bad. That's good. We hang out for a couple hours, eat pizza and some other foods and stuff, and just got back home. Also this week I had awesome boxes that came in the mail with 10 OK Industry aluminum mags. So I was like, woohoo, it's like Christmas, man. I was like, yes, I got magazines.
Nice.
Got magazines from AR.
Nothing to put in them now.
Yeah, well, I got
Nothing
ammo.
to put in them.
But yeah, my brother had told me that Rainer Arms were selling OK Industries magazines, aluminum magazines. You can get them in black, gray, tan, and they were like $12.49 a mag. So I was like, well, it's not so bad. Not usually they go about $1 cheaper. So, but I said, what the heck, might as well. You know how crazy it is, with the everyone buying everything. So I went ahead, made an order for 10, and I got them this week. And I was like, cool. So,
do you prefer an aluminum mag over like a P mag?
Well, I got more P mags than I do aluminum. At least, well, now I have at least 20 aluminum. 10 are used because I bought it from a pawn shop, and I just need to exchange the followers. The springs were still in good condition, so I tested them out. They were good, and the rest I have is P mags. I got some Mission First tactical mags and stuff. Yeah. I got those from Academy because they were selling them for like $7.49 a mag or something one time. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'll buy me like 5. Yeah. And I got a bunch of P mags. Yeah. So right now I just need to make an inventory and what I have what. Like I have so many of these mags, I have like these many P mags and stuff like that. Just make an accurate count. And but yeah, I wanted to get some more aluminum mags because I only had 10. The rest I have P mags, so that's why I wanted to order some more. My brother had told me, "Hey, here, check out this link. I'm going to order some mags, man. You should order some too." So I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So they still have some. Cool. If anybody's interested, Rainer Arms, they sell them for $12.49 a mag. You can get them in black and in gray. Right now, I think they're out of stock on tan. But other than that's good.
Flat dark tan.
Rainier's about half an hour north of me.
Cool.
Well, we'll get the hell up there and get some.
Yeah, send us
some free samples.
The reason that my brother told me that the reason that they ran out of mags first is because when California was able to get magazines, a lot of people from California were ordering them, and then all of a sudden they cut since California finally got right now we're not sure about the mag, so Rainer Arms said, okay, no more California. How they say can't ship to Washington D.C., can't ship to Delaware, can't ship to. They find they put California back on there, so it gives enough for other people to get mags now.
So here's the crazy shit though too, is with all that stuff is it's illegal to ship them there, but it's not illegal to own them. So I mean, I'm sure there's. It'd be amazing to know how many are coming into the state.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
In people's trunks and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's easy to transport them. I mean, since you're not going through a checkpoint, that we got to check your car. K9 sniffing something. Oh, illegal mags. Yeah. So I'm sure that somehow they get transported in. And then of course, like you say, you don't say where you got them, but you just have them.
Yeah, it's like, I bought them that week, that we were allowed to get them. So,
yeah, so because
Daniel Pfeiffer says, I thought the last law made it illegal to own them, and I thought it was okay to own them since they made them legal for that week, and everybody bought them like crazy.
Yeah, they keep changing the thing,
everything was grandfathered.
Yeah,
to begin with, you could own them as long as you didn't. You just going to buy new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or transfer them. That was once you had them, and they were yours until you died. In which case, they became property of the state to do with whatever they felt like.
I mean, mags do have serial numbers on them, though, right? I mean,
nope.
They could.
No.
Even the mag bullets, I thought they did.
Nope.
I thought they had a batch number on them or whatever.
Batch numbers, yes, but not. It's not like the only time I've seen an actual serial number on magazines was during was a couple of actual assault weapons ban era mags, like one H&K magazine and one Smith magazine had serial numbers on it, but everything else is.
Or let's say
I shouldn't have said serial number. I meant like a production number, like a batch number or something, so they would know what year it was produced, maybe. Yeah, like a lot number, exactly.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if Magpul wished to share such information, which they moved their entire corporate operation out of Colorado, so I don't think they're going to be wanting to share that.
Yeah. The only thing I remember that when they had the assault weapons ban and stuff, and like capacity mags were 10 rounds limit for civilian, they did have mags that were high capacity that had law enforcement only. It would say law enforcement mag or law enforcement only use or something at that time, because we were only supposed to use 10 rounds, and then law enforcement, whoa, we could have up to 15, 17 rounds. No big shit,
Right. Guns and barbecue. What's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot. Just been trying to crank out some videos. Other than that, just chilling out, waiting for the kids to go back to school. How about yourself?
Yeah, same. We're just sort of hanging tight here. Working home. We're not doing a whole lot, Restaurant's doing pretty good. On the weekends, Friday and Saturday are okay. I mean, it's down from what it used to be, but we're pretty steady, pretty busy. We're pretty busy on Saturday. During the week has been off for sure. It's still, pretty slow, which really sucks. Everybody wants to go out on the weekends, You get to the point where we're staffed down because, we're not doing the business that we're at like 25% of what we did last year at this time or whatever.
Are you still limiting the people that go into the restaurant?
Yeah, everything's spread out. Everybody has to be so far apart. Yeah, but
even weird then, because here I've been passing through restaurants and I'm always looking at them, and I see them they're like packed, and I'm like, hey, what happened to the only certain amount of people can be in the restaurant and stuff? I see Chili's and Texas Roadhouse and like local restaurants, that are not chains and stuff, and they're packed with people, and I'm kind of like, hey, I thought you were only supposed to have a certain amount of people, and they're not following the rules.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how it is in different states. I know we're supposed to be so far apart still. But even then, I mean, we're running a short staff, so we're definitely running short. We actually just hired a prep cook, which is nice, because we had lost a prep cook a while back. So even with that, he's super, super green. He's very young, has a little bit of experience making like salads at a place, and that's it. But we couldn't keep up Saturday. It was just rough. So it sucks. It's like feast or famine, During the week, you got a couple of tickets hanging, and it's no big deal. And then Friday and Saturday hits, and everybody comes out, and it's just like the magic. If a restaurant owner had a magic wand, one of the first things I think they would do was be like, all right, we did 1,000 covers this week. Let's do, 150 every night instead of 50, 50, 50, 300 or something. It's it's tough. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, I hope it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, we're hanging in there. It's the toughest thing is we can't have our party space. We're not allowed to do nightclubs and stuff, and lounges aren't allowed to be open. So that's also where we do a lot of our parties. So and your parties are supposed to be 25 or smaller, all these, these different restrictions. So a lot of the parties that we would be doing, we just can't do, or people aren't wanting to do them. So it sucks.
One thing that kind of cracked me up that I was driving to the expressway, and I passed by the local strip club, and they had a sign there, now hiring, and I'm like, how are you gonna be a business with all this coronavirus thing?
I saw one a couple of weeks ago where it was like drive up. somebody was doing it as a drive up. You'd drive up and they were dancing, and then you'd hand them money and drive away. And I was like, well, that's one way to do it. That's funny. Good for you for keeping your business open, man. You got to do what you got to do, right?
You're gonna go into the strip club and they're gonna give you one of those like hand claws, the ones, those little picker uppers. Yeah, this is for you to give them the $1. Yeah, and just give it to them. There's no touching here.
Well, even better would be to, how diners used to have. You don't see this anymore because everybody uses electronic systems, but they used to have the wires. Hooters used to do this too. Mm-hmm. I had a buddy that worked at Hooters, and the servers would clip it on the clip and then send it down the wire across the restaurant, and it would go to to the expediter. You could just do that, put $1 on it, and send it down. And,
that'd be cool, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Obnoxious, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. I'm probably gonna go out and do a video tomorrow and shoot upwards of like $800 worth of ammo.
Oh, you got to send a whole box through, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you need help making that video? I can come over and help.
Yeah. You're gonna come over and help me blow through a box of ammo?
Oh, definitely.
No, not much. Just trying to get videos up and do things with and too much ammo because it's dried up. This sucks.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just like, every time this happens, you always wish you had bought more before. Mm-hmm. It's natural to just be like, one magazine reviews, Clover Tag says. You always wish you'd have bought more, but this is getting, it's getting pretty rough. It's not that you can't, people that have multiple calibers right now are in a little bit better shape because they can, whatever they can find at a decent price, they buy and shoot. But if you're one of those people that really condensed down their calibers thinking that was a good move, like I'll just stock more of this, or if they didn't stock up like they said they were gonna, now you're really screwed because there's just some shit that's not out there,
Absolutely screwed. And I picked up a bunch like when this first kicked off because I got those SARs and stuff in that I knew I wanted to get 1,000 rounds through 2 of them at least, and then this whole thing kicked off, and now you can't find anything.
That's such. It's almost crazy to think about going to the range and shooting 250 rounds or something and be like, God damn, that's a lot of ammo right now, Yeah.
Well, I went out last week and did the shooting portion for Skinner Sight. Sent me a sight for my Henry. I went out there and shot the shooting portion. I got in and got it up on the computer, and I didn't have the camera far enough to my right, so all you can see is my back. And I'm like, that's 50 rounds. That's 50 rounds of ammo I just wasted.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, that and it's like you got to call the company and be like, hey, maybe I'm not going to do this review. Is that okay?
Tell them to send you the ammo.
Yeah. Nope, they don't have ammo either. Nobody's got ammo anymore.
Oh yeah, this is worse than Sandy Hook. It's going to get worse once the elections come.
Mm-hmm.
South Par RX is saying, for recent T&E firearms, have the manufacturers been supplying any ammo, or is it on you? I think at this, especially right now, you would have to be a pretty big deal to be for them to be giving you a bunch of ammo to use. Mm-hmm. That's a hell of a big. That's a hell of a lot more of a cost now than it was. Let's say they send you a half case of ammo or something. It used to be $125, and now it's $400. Squib, what's going on, buddy?
Can't get to the mute button. Still here at work. Came in, started up the factory. Everything's broken, so I'm putting in a late night Yeah. I mean,
well, what'd you break it for?
Those darn
gremlins.
I
was just gonna say the same thing. Came into work, broke some shit, so I had something to do. Whatever.
No, I didn't break it. I came in and 3 things were broken, and I'm like, how did they break on their own with the place empty over the weekend? So maybe it was gremlins. I don't know.
No, it's just because you came in.
You know what? It's some extra overtime money, and I'm not going to complain about extra money. So
hell no, man.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Giz, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Man, I'm just living a dream being here on the Midnight Range show.
I'm sure.
Man, I tell you what. Of course, I had the show this morning, and otherwise, I've been recording stuff for my next video, which hopefully I'll have out. I got to edit it tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have that out during the day on Tuesday. So thanks for the invite and all that stuff.
Very cool. What are you doing? What are you doing a video on? What are you shooting?
It's on
what's the what?
It's on a gun.
Oh, okay.
If you must know, it's on the SIG P320 RX compact.
Nice. 9mm, huh? That's a
9 millimeter. Yep.
Very cool. Fine Ape, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot. I mean, this inconsiderate asshole forgot to send me a link. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I heard that.
Damn, I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
It happens sometimes.
Not a whole lot. Worked again this weekend. So, like Squib said, extra money. And apparently it just decided to start storming like crazy out. So, no, not much. Oh, for the first time in... Well, damn, I guess I've been at my place almost 5 years now. For the first time in almost 5 years of going to the little snack shack in town, I had the first thing there that was almost uneatable, however you want to pronounce that.
Inedible.
Uneatable.
And what was that? Did they overcook your banana?
Street fudge.
No, that would have been pretty hard since the banana was a banana vanilla twist ice cream cone. They added some new items on the menu for the year, and they're closing weekend after next for the season. So I decided to try one of their new items. It was supposed to be a lemon pepper flat fries. You know, kind of like a regular potato fry if you were to like flatten it out. I probably would have gotten less salt if I would have stuck my tongue on a deer lick.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something that they get it where it's take thing out of package, put contents in fryer, and it's done, or if someone just got the bright idea of, oh, hey, we'll go to the dollar store and grab a thing of this like lemon pepper seasoning mix and just sprinkle it on fries, and they dumped half the bottle on it. It was not good.
Well, I will say this. There's been multiple occasions where I've had to show cooks how to season something, and it's the dumbest. It's the most ridiculous thing. Sometimes you just look at people and you shake your head. And I had the most recent one. I watched it. Somebody had said something about an order of fries that were salty. I think it was just an order of fries that were salty. So they sent them back, and I was like, okay. And it happens. Sometimes you get busy. You know, you go a little heavy or whatever. Then they remade the batch, and I was, so I'm kind of watching, and he like put them in the bowl, right, that we used to season, and he just goes, and then just tosses them, flops them over once, and then pours them on the plate. And I was like, what the hell do you think you just did with that? Like, where do you think all that salt is that you just put on it? It's on the top, like, the top layer is, like, crusted in salt, and there's none on the bottom. He's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, okay, bud. All right, man. It's amazing this if it can be done, it's been screwed up, it's amazing.
And I really shouldn't complain because the people that actually work there are high school kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, people do dumb shit, It's I always say it's totally okay to let a place know that they didn't do something properly or that you don't like something. I just hope that people are like, don't be an asshole about it and let them know and have them remake it, have them fix it. No big deal.
Oh, and Orange Boy, you're the one who creates that horrid rancid botulism toxin called beef soda. So I wouldn't be making fun of my wonderful caramelized onions with peanut butter on a cheeseburger.
Now with strychnine.
Diet beef soda 0. Now with strychnine.
Now it's strychnine.
Now with strychnine antidote.
It's with a hint of lime.
Mm-hmm. You put the lime in the coconut.
It says it's apple flavored, but all it is just the seeds from the apple. So it's it's arsenic.
Well, that's essential roughage and fiber. You said you weren't feeling so good. Things were moving kind of slow, and you wanted to get the shit out of you. So I sent you some high fiber diet beef soda 0 high fiber plus.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Now it's stomach talk.
I heard that diet beef soda high fiber 0 plus now comes. I lost it. I forgot it.
Now comes there is 0 calories.
With added bran. Now with added wheat bran.
Cilantro, that's what it was.
Now we need less regret.
Foss, what's going on, little mouse?
Nothing, honey.
Yeah, our little mouse. We're talking cereal. We talking cereal here? You got wheat bran, nut and honey.
I'm doing a giveaway.
That's what I hear.
For anybody, go to my channel, check out the video. You just need to leave a comment, whether you're a subscriber or not. But hopefully, you'll be a subscriber. Gonna give away. I've got a Baby Yoda shirt and some patches and some stickers and whatever else junk I can find and shove in a box, and I'll send it to you.
Listen to this guy. He's just cleaning out his sock drawer.
But I'll pick two
socks.
I'll pick 2 winners on the 4th. So you have up until noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Metric Time to leave a comment.
Baby Yoda, do. Yeah, yeah, that's the shit.
Just in time for season 2.
Obnoxious. I got a little lucky. I got ammo at decent prices. I refuse to pay what ammo runs now. You're all going to be a bunch of what's the faces from Andy Griffith's show with one bullet in your pocket.
Barney Fife.
Right.
Barney Fife.
Yeah. I'm going to run 5 mags through it. Now each of those mags is only going to have 1 round in it.
1 round, right?
Now Midnight. Are you trying to say that Obnoxious One looks like Barney Fife? There, he looks like Don Knotts. So I think that's an insult to Don Knotts.
That's pretty.
You could fit like 3 Don Knotts in.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be. I bet you. I wonder if. I bet you snap cap prices are going to go up next. People are going to be buying snap caps just to fill up their mags. 9 snap caps. Yeah, 9 snap caps and 1 live round on top. So, all right, we got about 30 watching out there or so, 26, 30. This I mean, people have been talking about it like crazy. It's like the hot topic, obviously, the Kenosha thing with Rittenhouse. One of the things I wanted to ask I'm getting a little bit of an echo. I'm not sure who it's from. I think Ape, can you mute and see if it's you? Just to see. The Kenosha thing, yeah. I think everybody's muted except for Foss. Mute. No, George isn't either.
I'm not mute.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm muted.
Oh, you are? It's not showing that you are. It's weird. All right.
Because I got a fancy ass button on my cord
super.
here.
Oh, I'm so cool. My buttons are so awesome. Better than your buttons.
Yes. My life is so awesome. I have to shop at Walmart at 3 a.m, so I get all the cool crap that they put on clearance first.
See, folks, this is where your Diet Beef Soda Zero money goes, is into fancy equipment for a monkey.
Yeah. At least your Walmart's open at 3 a.m. Not mine. Mine closes at 11.
Ours closes at 8 now. And before that, they closed it at 10.
PM? Yeah, ours closes at mid. Wow.
It went from being 24 hours to it closes at 8 p.m. and doesn't open until 7. Which is probably proof that this town was probably not large enough to support an entire Walmart. So they probably could have just stayed out and we could have kept our main street.
It's probably just because Ape keeps coming back, so they keep moving the time up.
Yeah. Eventually, it's going to be open from 7 in the morning to 7:30. It'll just be open when you're working. They'll just run your work schedule. It'll be good. It'll be all right.
Yeah, and as soon as they see you walk in the door, they'll close the door. Oh, we're closed.
You play grab ass with the greeter one time.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask and see if anybody knew was, so they're saying now that the owner of that car dealership asked for people to help be security for it. And is that who gave him the AR? Do we know where the AR came from yet? I heard it was his friend, but is that the owner of the business? Do we know that?
No, it's still just a friend as far as I know.
And I know, a month or so back, well, it's probably more than that now because I almost died. I was sick, but I had the coffins. We were talking about people that weren't licensed to be being security. And I know, George, that's when you jumped in that first time, and we're talking about it a little bit because that's what you do. What's the liability to that owner of that car dealership if he really did ask people to be basically armed security for his business, and now it's turned into a situation like this where people have died? I wonder if there's any liability to that business owner.
I would think more liability if he paid him to be there rather than just asked someone to come there.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And depending on their state laws saying what they can do, what security can do, and especially if the guy acting security causes any liability, as somebody, like he shoots somebody, he hits somebody, the person's tripped as he gave chase, and they break a leg or something. Sometimes there's all those kind of liabilities that can affect the client and the person that's doing the security. But as I said, if it was voluntarily and it wasn't like contract, like a contract type of thing, it depends. It also depends on what goes with the state.
Yeah. That was just one of the things. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff has been coming out, but that's one of the things I wasn't sure about yet. And so I wasn't sure if anybody knew if they had released who actually gave him that rifle. I wonder what legal ramifications that person has too. I mean, that could be pretty ugly for that person, depending on, well, it doesn't matter who it is. If he wasn't allowed to have it, he gave him a firearm. That's an interesting spot to be in for sure.
Yeah, me and my brother were talking about it today, and he was saying, like, I'm surprised that his mom has not been charged with anything because she's the one that transported him to the town and allowed him to be carrying a weapon underage. Open carry.
Is that for sure? Because I hadn't heard that she was actually the one that drove him there and that she knew what was going on.
I'm not sure.
I heard that he was working there as a lifeguard that day. So he was already there, and he went to the school to help clean off graffiti. There's a post that's going around Facebook that is a release statement, supposedly from his defense team, and he was already in Kenosha working at that time. So he must have just stayed there and didn't go home from work and went to the community to go clean off the graffiti and that's when the car dealership and then there's a couple mechanic shops down there asked for people to help make sure, the rest of their stuff wasn't destroyed. And I think in that letter, it states that's when he got the firearm. So basically his friend
did roll call just go back to 1980 for everybody?
No, I think it sounds like you went to 1930 to me.
Okay. You just need to pull the can tighter. The string needs to be tighter. It'll be okay.
The tighter the string, the better the sound.
One of the other things I heard about this.
Yeah, put a little more tension in your suspenders.
Yeah. Well, I did see a video where the cops were not allowing him to go to the parking lot, and he says, "I'm working there. I need to go to work." He goes, "You need to get off the street." He goes, "I need to go to work. That's where I'm working at." And he was having problems trying to get to that place, and that was at night, though. So
really?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how he got separated. That's how he got separated from the group, because he tried to make his way back there to his friends, and the cops were already coming down that street and told him to go away. So that's how he ended up, and that's where those people that were at that gas station, the infamous first part of it, that's where he got caught up, because those people were already moving down the street. That's how he got separated, and they pretty much singled him out.
Yeah, there's also, the video. I don't know. I did hear somebody else mention it, but I can't remember what show. But I know Donut Operator did a video, and somebody had sent him video of with the fire extinguisher. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did. I saw it.
Yeah, it was before he shot the guy in the red shirt. They had lit a dumpster on fire and we're going to push it into the cop car, a bunch of cop cars or something. And he came running through the scene, like the shot of the video. There was a video being taken, and it was definitely him running with a fire extinguisher. Now, I don't know if he's the one that put out the fire or if he gave it to somebody to put out the fire, but I think that looks like, from everything that I've seen so far, is probably what set off the crowd and probably what pissed them off, and turned their attention to him a little bit more. Maybe the fact that he did that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that's probably where it started to go south.
One of the other things that I heard a good argument for is, was it actually illegal for him to possess the firearm? Because yes, it's illegal for him to purchase it, but every state has some sort of exemption. Like Pennsylvania, you can walk through the woods at the age of 16 without an adult and possess a firearm while you're hunting. Now, obviously, that's while you're hunting, not out on the street every day. But was it actually illegal for him to be in possession of this firearm in the first place?
Yeah, I've heard people say yes, and I've heard people say no. I really have no idea. I really don't know. I feel like he's probably going to pull weapons charges. I think he's going. I feel he's probably going to be okay as far as self-defense with the shootings. I feel like they're probably going to tap him with weapons charges in some way, misdemeanors or whatever. And somebody said, I think it was Yankee actually made a good sort of comment about him having the rifle, because people are saying he shouldn't have been there and he shouldn't have the gun. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have been there, but was it illegal for him to be there? I don't know. No, it wasn't illegal for him to be there. Was it illegal for him to have the gun? Possibly. But he made a little analogy, and he said, if you're, I don't know exactly how he said it, but basically if your daughter or something was going to college and she wasn't allowed to have any weapons, which a lot of colleges you're not allowed to have even pepper spray at some of them, and somebody attacked her and tried to rape her and she stabbed him. I could see her, is she going to get in trouble for having the knife? Maybe, but is she going to get in trouble for using it? No, it's self-defense. That analogy for me really kind of made me, I was like, that's a hell of a good analogy. Just because you weren't supposed to have it doesn't mean that it wasn't legal to use it in self-defense. So, it's it's a tough spot, man. It's a hell of a tough spot. The kid's life's different. The kid's life is different from here on out. That's for sure. Mad Sexy says he was underage and out past curfew. I don't know. I'm not sure what the curfew was, if there was a curfew or not. If there was, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, all of what led up to the shootings, though, how much trouble he's going to get into, I don't know. But I feel like them putting murder charges on him, this murder one, I think they're charging him with. It's not going to stick. It's just like, I don't think they're going to get murder one in the Floyd case. And that's really worrisome, is if they try and go for murder one for George Floyd and don't get it. What the hell happens? I mean, Jesus, it's a scary thought to think about, what, the kind of protests and rioting and stuff like that we're going to see if that happens. That's terrifying.
That cop put in plea to dismiss all his charges. Did you see that?
No.
The lawyers, they said he needs to be released and the charges be dropped.
Now they have the second coroner's report that says that he overdosed and he had enough fentanyl in his body that he probably would have died anyway. All this stuff. It's
which shouldn't be relevant in the case anyway. It's like, oh, hey, midnight, you're clutching your chest and you're having a heart attack. Doesn't mean it's right for someone to walk up to you and just choke you out or put two in the back of your head. Oh, he was going to die anyway. He was having a damn heart attack.
No, but if they decide that he died of cardiac arrest because of the amount of fentanyl in his body and not asphyxiation because of the knee, then what do you do? That's a hell of a tricky spot. If
I'm not sure you could prove that.
What's that?
Well, I'm not sure there's a good way to prove that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's say, and with everything that's known about positional asphyxiation, like I've said before, when I started corrections, I mean, that was one of the first things they pounded into our head was positional asphyxiation. If you got a person on the ground, once they are in cuffs or zip tied, whatever we need to do to get them under control, we need to be getting them back to their feet immediately. The longer that they're down, the more likely positional asphyxiation is to set in, which it only takes minutes. And there's an 8-minute video of this officer on the guy's neck. That'd be really hard. If they said, oh, it was from the fentanyl, and we're 100% sure on that, somebody's either getting paid or some political moves were made, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to be, especially the way the world is right now, no matter what doctor does the autopsy and looks over everything, and whatever that decision is, the other side's not going to believe it. Just kind of like you said. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think them going for. Go ahead.
They should have had Fauci do the autopsy. That way, he could declare that he died of COVID.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like no matter what you do, you have tests done by certain people, and you give them the information, and people are automatically, no, that didn't happen. No, that did. I don't trust that. I don't believe that. And I'm kind of like, what do you want me to do? What kind of freaking truth you want me to show you, so that way you can be happy. That this is what this is the truth. What happened? This is what happened. They keep people thinking, oh no, they're on the take, or like you said, or like they said, political. Thing, or something like that, just so they can save the cop, from being charged or whatever and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. You can't satisfy everybody, because no matter what you say, somebody will always disagree. And that's their deal,
Yeah, it's very polarizing for sure.
I think Obnoxious wanted to say something.
No, I doubt it.
Me too.
No, I'm done.
What's up?
Well, let me preface this with the standard. I am not a lawyer. I do not play one on TV. I didn't even get a good night's rest at a Holiday Inn last night.
Are you sure you're not a lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
You look an awful lot like him.
That's why you should have got a Motel 6.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't do that either.
On for you.
I could have helped. Yeah.
But I believe what I saw was in Wisconsin at 17, if he had adult supervision, he was fine with the rifle.
Again, what's considered adult supervision?
Exactly. What is adult supervision? And he got separated from his supervision. Now that shouldn't be a disqualifier.
Right. I mean, if it's through no fault of his own.
Right. Exactly. Right. So, and if he did, they wanted to get him with a weapons charge. I believe it was a Class A misdemeanor.
Right. Yeah, I've heard it's not a big deal.
Is what he's facing for a weapons charge. So it would be absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It's I mean, I don't know. I'd be terrified if I was him or his parents or any of his family. I mean, not only you have to worry about getting charged with homicide, murder, or the weapons charge, which even a misdemeanor weapons charge can really fuck your life up. But like, I don't know, man. You'd be walking around the rest of your life looking over your shoulder and, having to, kind of hide the rest of your life. People, this is not just a fender bender or something where, people for decades are going to know who that kid is and they're going to, be attacking him basically,
And I hope he gets rich off of this, just like Sandman did, because it's the same thing. They've already tried him in the media. I mean, the article I saw the other day was literally they wrote in there that the one guy threw a plastic bag at him.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that one. Yeah,
and the other one approached him with his skateboard in one hand.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, I had the knife in the plastic bag, so I didn't stab you with it. It was in a plastic bag, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, they kept thinking the plastic bag was a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, it kind of looked that way.
It looked like it was on fire, but I think it was the light reflecting. It caught the light, and you could tell that it was like a brick or something in there.
Yeah, because first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Before I knew any of this other stuff, just thumbing through Instagram, is like, oh, so someone made a Molotov that apparently lit but didn't break. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what was all over Instagram right away. That was one of the first things that I saw. Yeah, that's one of the first things that I saw on Instagram. And I don't remember who it was that I follow. If it could even be Military Arms Channel. He jumps on this shit real quick too.
So does Mr. Guns and Gear and that Uncle Sam's Children and Badassery and some other ones.
Yeah. And that was one of the first things I saw. I was like, holy shit. And you see that, and it does look like it. It sways a lot of people's opinions. I mean, I thought it was too. I was like, holy shit, it looked like a Molotov cocktail. And I'm thinking like, fuck, man, what did they do that did it not break when it hit or something? And then, it took a day or two before people started coming out that I know that, and hearing about that it probably wasn't. It was something in a bag, either a brick or, even maybe, frozen water bottle or something like that. Who knows? But that the video of that dude in the red that got shot, that threw the bag or whatever, the video of him telling the dude to shoot him, the other guy that was also in a greenish shirt, just like Rittenhouse was. It's really makes it look like, maybe he thought that Rittenhouse was that dude and that's why he went after him. Then it just takes so long for stuff to come out. Prejudging these things is just such a horrible idea, and it really just is sickening to see all the partial information pushed by both sides.
Well, that's both the go ahead.
You know what's even more sickening is they've already charged him with all those counts.
Right.
With no investigation at all. Zero investigation.
Yeah. I was gonna say, oops, Scatman's out there asking for a link.
I'll get him a link. I didn't miss him.
Yeah. When this happened, I remember seeing a picture that somebody took an article. They already had posted Trump supporter shot 17-year-old Kyle had shot these people, and I'm like, well, how do you know he's a Trump supporter?
Right.
Did he say that? And then other people were saying he was an active shooter, and then another one it was a white supremacist. God, like, man, y'all don't even make your investigations first before you start making articles. You got to get the whole story before you get the whole truth.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, it's
not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore, because now it's anything goes now. It doesn't matter.
And if you say it enough times, it becomes true.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, it's
look, they've been claiming Trump is a racist for the last 6 years.
Right. Hey, Scotsman, how you doing, buddy guy?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. We're just bitching and complaining. The usual.
Well, that's what I'm here for, bitching and complain.
Like I was saying, Midnight.
Go ahead, Abe.
I was saying it's kind of the double-edged sword of, progress of technology. Everybody's got these cell phones, so everyone can make their own video, but without the context of what you're showing, it's, like we were saying before, oh, that looks like a Molotov that didn't break, when, no, it's a plastic bag. It's everybody has access to I don't want to say unfiltered, but, raw information, no context whatsoever. So it makes it a lot easier for all these buzzwords and things that, or labels that can get attached to people that you don't like or people you want to control to get out there. So it's, just like this, it's, oh, well, the story's changing. Yeah, because it takes a while for all that information to get aggregated together and actually sifted through, instead of just, oh, look, there's a video on Instagram. Oh, look, there's this thing or this post on Twitter or Facebook, or, it's like you're taking one little Lego out of the box each time and going, oh, well, this proves this or this. And no, we haven't, there's a booklet. We need to actually take everything out of there, and because this whole thing is, okay, I guess to use the Lego analogy, we have the parts, we don't have the instructions. So we kind of got to piece everything together. And right now it's just, no, you're getting one piece here, one piece there, and no one knows the entire picture. And we're probably not going to know the entire full picture for quite a while.
I think for a lot of people that put these up, especially the ones that do it first, it's about narrative and not about context.
It's about being first.
They only care about views. They don't care about information. They don't care about being exact with what they're talking about. For them, it's all about views. And for example, earlier on the chat today, I played devil's advocate, because you got to remember a few things about this. And I'm not saying the kid was wrong in what he did by any means whatsoever. So again, for anyone out there, don't take this the wrong way. I'm playing devil's advocate.
We will.
The guy was 17. Shouldn't have had a rifle anyway. He was from a different state. Shouldn't have even been there. There's a lot of things that come into question. And as a prosecutor, and this is where I'm playing devil's advocate, as a prosecutor, this is where they're going to come from. You're not from the state. You shouldn't have been there. You're underage to have the firearm.
He lived in Antioch. It was in Kenosha. They're literally right across the border from each other. Well, and my understanding is that he actually worked in Kenosha and has friends in Kenosha. I'm from that relative area. There,
he has friends in Kenosha.
Essentially,
he borrowed the rifle from a friend.
Right.
But again, I'm not saying the kid was wrong in what he did. I'm not. Don't take that the wrong way. You got to think about how the prosecution is going to act with this kid.
They've already decided he's guilty. That's why that's why that prosecutor has already charged him before they ever did an investigation.
Well, they've charged him, but again, it's still got to go to court, still got to go through the process. And he's going to be judged by 12. Now, some of y'all may know how this works, some of y'all may not. But being judged by 12, it comes down to the old age theory of what would a reasonable man do in that situation?
True. Yeah. Well, and that's where, before you popped in, I don't know if you were listening or not, one of the analogies that I had heard was, if, sorry to repeat it, but, if your daughter was going to college and wasn't allowed to have a weapon and somebody tried to rape her and she pulled out a knife that she wasn't supposed to have and stabbed the guy, are you going to, you're not going to charge her with, you don't want to see charges for her other than maybe having the knife, but not using the knife. I mean, she's justified in using the knife, but she wasn't allowed to have it. So what do? You pull a misdemeanor charge, or she gets in trouble for having a weapon on school grounds, but can you charge her for, assault? Can you charge her for stabbing somebody that was trying to rape her? I don't think so.
Well, there's a big difference between having a knife and having a rifle. And the reason I say that, and don't jump on my ass, because I'm
go ahead.
Myself. The reason I say that is because a knife, 99 times out of 10, isn't really federally regulated, whereas firearms are.
Doesn't matter. If you kill somebody, if you kill your rapist with a knife, or you kill your rapist with a gun that you're not supposed to have in that area, you've still killed your rapist.
I mean, okay, we could even change it to, you could even change it to a gun, if your daughter, is carrying a firearm that on campus that she's not supposed to be, and somebody tries to rape her or somebody tries to kill her and she shoots and kills that person, is she going to get charged with murder, or is she going to get charged with a firearms offense, or not even a firearms offense, maybe, but having a gun on school grounds and she's not allowed to? Does having that weapon, and using that weapon in self-defense, should that be a justification for a murder charge?
From everything that I've seen in my years in the industry, anytime something like this has come across, regardless, knife, firearm, whatever it may be, if it is justified, they've gotten away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when I talk about these things, guys, don't take this the wrong way. Don't ever take it the wrong way. I'm just playing devil's advocate when I'm talking about some of this stuff.
No, for sure. And honestly, dude, we do it all the time. I love devil's advocate. I think it's a really useful tool. So don't worry about that. That's not a big deal.
It's, I for example, with this kid, man, I 110%, he defended himself. He did what he had to do. I 110% support everything he did. But there's a lot of questions that remain.
Sure.
Are we ever going to get all the answers? Probably not. Are we going to see the answers? Probably not. Is the court's going to get all the answers? Probably not. So you have to play devil's advocate. It's not a matter of how or what or when. It's you're going to have to at some point.
I think, too, one of the not that it matters anything, not that it matters in the scheme of things as far as Rittenhouse's liability or murder or charges for the skateboard guy's murder or shooting the guy that ended up having the Glock. But one of the things that, they're saying too is those two people They were trying to stop a mass murder. They were trying to stop a murderer. They were trying to stop a guy that had just killed somebody. It really does show. It's a really good example of, one, know what the situation is before you act, but also how, both sides look at things. We'll never know. We'll never know. We'll never know what that guy with the skateboard was thinking. Was he thinking, I'm going to kick the shit out of that kid because I want to kick the shit out of that kid? Or was he thinking like, oh my God, that guy just killed somebody. We need to stop him. Who the hell knows? Well, I mean, he's dead now. And the other guy, I mean, he took a chunk of his arm off like like you wouldn't believe. And one of his statements apparently was, he wished he would have shot him earlier and not allowed, not held back. So, I mean, holy hell, that would be it. Could you imagine that situation too, where that dude with the pistol shoots and kills Rittenhouse? He's not allowed to have that gun because he's a felon. And he shot somebody that had just defended themselves and ran away. Like, what a mess that would be too.
It's just true, but that falls under the old adage of who, what, and when. Who knew what and when did they know it? Did he know that? Did the guy know that Rittenhouse had defended himself, or just like, oh shit, that dude just shot another dude?
If you look at the video, and I've seen multiple angles of it, if you look at the video when this guy draws the Glock, and y'all know I hate Glock for good reason, but when this kid draws the Glock, he takes it out the back of his pants, number one. So he's already got it in a bad position. It's a horrible fucking position to have it in. But he draws this out, and by the time he gets it about 90% of the way, that's when he gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to give the kid credit because the kid was paying attention to his surroundings and what was going on and did what needed to be done. And again, when I'm talking about this stuff and I'm talking devil's advocate, this, that, the other, I'm not trying to badmouth what the kid did. The kid did what he had to do. He defended himself. He had every right to defend himself. But there's still a lot of things in question.
I got a question for everybody. Does this, everybody on the panel and out there in the chat, I can't see the chat, unfortunately, but does this make you think about going to rallies? Because this last shooting that happened was at a rally that clashed with the two sides. Does this make you feel a little uneasy about going to gun rallies or, going to some kind of, rally, whatever type it is, that has a political spin to it? Whether it be something gun related or the support for your candidate, whoever you support. Does this make you feel, oh God, especially when you go to a place where you can't have a gun? Does this make you kind of think?
I would say for myself personally, it wouldn't make me uneasy going to a gun rally. However, these particular types of, and they're not rallies, these protests that are not protests, they're straight up fucking riots. There's a big fucking difference. And if they're peaceful, I got no problem with them. I can almost guarantee everyone here on the panel's got no problem if it's peaceful. But the minute you turn around and start destroying property, you start tearing up buildings, you start tearing up people's businesses and cars, property, the whole 9 yards, that ain't a protest no more. That's a fucking riot. And when you get to that point, at that point in time, you deserve everything you fucking get.
I don't know if you could even call it a riot at that point. It's just people causing vandalism. I think there's some other factors that end up having to come into play with the size of the mob. There's only a handful of people that were busting out the windows in the cars and things like that. You're gonna all of a sudden classify the whole thing as a riot.
It breaks down to domestic terrorism.
I think to go back to Rose's question too, does it make you not want to go to rallies? And I think I kind of agree with Scotsman too. I think a gun rally, I would still go, but I don't want any part of the back and forth, Team A versus Team B screaming at each other in the middle of the street. Like that's tough, man. And I really do think
here's my thing on this, man.
You still see people bringing their kids to this stuff, which I think is horrible. Like even at a peaceful rally, bad things happen. Accidents happen, or not just accidents. People get out of hand. There's people act like assholes, and I think it's been horrible taste to have a child at a protest or a rally like that.
Absolutely, and here's my thing, and then I'll shut up because I'm.
Go ahead, man.
I'm not trying to step over people, but I have been, and I apologize. They're enticing us. They are trying to draw us and cause problems. And
yes.
When we react to this, we have to be careful how we do so.
And I agree
100%. Part of the problem we got is things like this particular thing here. So this kid probably didn't go looking for trouble. I'm not saying he did by any means. But did he belong there? Probably not. Different state, shows up, probably doesn't belong there. This is where they're enticing us. They're trying to cause problems. They're trying to.
So what if I went to a gun rally in Ohio? Since I live in Pennsylvania, I shouldn't be there?
No, that's not what I'm saying, man.
Well, I'm asking because people are saying he didn't belong there because he's not from that state. He's not from that town. But
there's a big difference between a gun rally and these protests when they're not protests. They're fucking riots. They're not protests. There's a big fucking difference. And the problem is these particular protests and riots, they're trying to entice us. They're trying to draw us into these problems.
But the kid didn't go to cause problems. He just went to try and help. I believe there was actually video of him saying, he's just there to try and help people. I mean, he was there with a medical kit.
There was, yeah, and he was. It's the difference is, I know, and apparently he's. I heard he's very soon to be 18 years old, but as a 17-year-old kid, whether he was allowed to be there or should be there, are two different questions. If it's my kid and he's 17, no goddamn way is he going to be fucking.
And that's the other thing too is where did the parents come into this? Why was that kid there?
I'd chain him to the goddamn couch if he said he was going there. No way.
I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying, he really shouldn't have been there.
And that is going to be brought up as part of the court case of, okay, why were you there? And if once again, we bring it back to a reasonable person, those 12 or 6 reasonable persons in that box, would they have considered it reasonable for him to be there with the intent of what he was originally supposed to do and what happened? Because you can say, I'm just there to help, or I'm just there to be.
Problem?
Huh?
What is the problem with him being there? Is it because he's 17? So if he was 18, would it have been all right for him to be there?
As far as I don't care if this was a 17-year-old, a 25-year-old, or a 30 or an 80-year-old dude.
Well,
if a reasonable person say, hey, there's some shit that's probably going to go down over here, and there is a higher likelihood of conflict of any type or sort, would a reasonable person go, well, yeah, I know that could happen, but that's my buddy's business and I'm going to go help him? Or would a reasonable person be, okay, yeah, I'm not going to be there or anywhere near that area if I can help it? And once again, going back to just the devil's advocate and whatever the prosecuting attorney will do or whatever questions will pop up in the jury is, okay, would a reasonable person have been there to begin with? Because we're talking about before midnight about, okay, your daughter or your son goes off to college and, they have to defend themselves. Well, did they defend themselves getting out of their dorm, going to the grocery store, or did they go someplace where they knew, it's probably going to be some trouble?
Well, outside of the age,
one thing, just real quick. Mm-hmm. But being somewhere that there could be trouble doesn't mean that somebody has the right to attack you either.
No, it doesn't.
And again, I'm like I said, the kid did what he had to do. I support him 110%. He was in the right. He defended himself. He did what he had to do. There's just a lot of things that come into play where I can guarantee you, when this goes to court, they are going to tear his ass up.
Go ahead, Fox.
Outside of the, his age and any of that, just the being there part. They weren't there just to go down and watch what was happening and got in trouble. They went there to protect the business. So it would be reasonable to be there if you're protecting the business. I mean, it's
the problem you're going to have with that was he contracted from that business as a hired security.
Right. And
that's what they're going to have.
Yeah, all that really, but all that really do is, okay, where does the bulk of the liability lie, on him or on the person that quote unquote hired him?
Mm-hmm.
And, would we be having the same
conversation? If he was hired, what you're saying is we don't know if he was hired or not.
Right.
And
what about all the people
I'm just saying like this is you have the right to protect your property, not protect someone else's property.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate because that's going to be part of it. That's going to be part of it.
So when everybody got together and stood out defending their businesses in Ferguson,
and their businesses or someone else's businesses.
Well, they'd show 8 people.
Yeah, it's a different issue.
They'd show 8 people out there defending the business. It wasn't 8 business owners. If one of them had shot somebody, would we be having the same conversation that they should have been there?
Is one of those 8, or we can assume that 1, maybe 2 might be partners in the business, and are they employees? Actual people
friends?
But that's I'm talking people who are. Well, we're trying to splice a line between. Here's Joe. He's been stocking shelves in my liquor store for the past 3 years. I pay his payroll taxes. I pay his paycheck. And here's Frankie. He's like my niece's nephew. I have never paid him a dime in my life. If my employee does that, if my employee is out there defending it, then as far as I am aware, then I, as the employer, am responsible for the actions of my employee to a certain extent. Whereas if my niece's cousin comes out and does that, it's a real.
I'd be safe to. I don't know. I'm going to assume something here, and I might be making a bad assumption here. I'm assuming that everyone in this room, not only in this room, but listening to this, are all on the same side as we are going to, how do I put this? We're going to defend this kid knowing that he was right in what he did in our minds. The problem is we can't look at this from our eyes. We have to look at this from the legal aspect. And this is where the problem comes down to. We all will support this kid. No matter what we can do, we know that this kid did the right thing in our minds, but legally he's screwed.
And that's exactly it, man. There's a lot of things that fall into play here, and some people argue back and forth. The kid was 17, and I'm not saying he was wrong in anything he did. Period. We're all going to stand for this kid, but he was 17. with a rifle. And
I'm not even worried about the age. Be all right with I'm not worried about the age. I'm not okay with the age. The age in my eyes is another big thing.
Hold on, I'm making a point. Per our regulations, 18 for a rifle.
To purchase a rifle, not to possess a rifle.
Purchase from a federal firearms.
Pull up the link I put in the side chat. In Wisconsin, him having possession.
Yeah.
Him having possession of that rifle in Wisconsin is a Class A misdemeanor.
Correct.
And there's also a possibility that
how many 10-year-old kids are going to get charged if this is going to be held up for hunting with dad? I'm not worried about possessing the rifle at 17. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is there was no legal reason for him to be there. That's what I'm worried about.
You're mistaking where I'm going with it. That was point one. Point number two, it was exactly your point right there. There's no legal reason for him to be there.
What legal reason is there for him not to be?
I have no interest in getting into any of these altercations. I'm staying home. I don't want to get anywhere near it. But if I had a friend who had a business downtown and asked me to come down there and help them keep an eye on their business and keep it from being burned down, I would probably be down there with them to help them keep their business from being burned down. And I think everybody in this room would as well if a friend asked them to come.
I've told the guys at work that if something happens, if there's a riot, there's looting, let them have it. Don't try and protect it. Just get yourself safe. But I've got a few friends that if they had a business and they asked me to go, I would go. It would just be two or three really good friends that I've known forever that I would go.
It's tough. And I was talking about this with my boss the other day, actually, because we were sitting down doing some stuff for work, just menus and bullshit. And we got to bullshitting. And, I told him, I was like, we started talking about, he's like, yeah, this is a mess, right? We're just like we're talking now back and forth, what was he allowed to do? What should he have done? Should he have done this, that, or the other thing? And, we started talking about him defending the business, and I told him, I was like, man, I've been here a long time. I love this business and I'd do anything for you. But, that's a hell of a thing to ask an employee to do, or a friend to do. And that's a hell of a thing to put them in that spot where they might have to kill somebody without really even knowing what the ramifications of that are going to be. My boss says, hey, I will say this, I'll put this caveat in there. If we are at work and something cuts loose, I absolutely would defend the people that are inside the business, and I would be prepared to do that. And, if whatever I could do to get everybody home safe is what I would do. But, to get a call from my boss and say, hey, things are getting kind of ugly. Can you come down and we're going to go in and make sure nothing bad happens to the restaurant. I'm going to say, hey, let's go down there and get everything out of there that's important. And then let's all go home and be safe, and it's a business and it's a building. And I understand not a lot of people think that way. And they're saying, well, that's our livelihood. That's this, that, or the other thing. But what happens when somebody breaks through the front door and you kill them and you're not the owner? Like, what are the ramifications of that? I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what the ramifications are. And do I go to jail for the rest of my life because of that?
The other point to that, man, and you're right on where you're going. The other point to that is if you go down there knowing someone's there, you're going there with intent. So you've now already thrown away every fucking thing that you would even have to defend yourself. You're going there with intent.
But do you realize that everything you said about Rittenhouse can be said about every single one of those rioters? So yes. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but if you're going to use that as your argument to charge him, then you need to charge every single one of those rioters who chased him, who threatened him, who attacked him, who were committing acts of vandalism, and they're not doing that. And if I was the defense team, that's my angle. My angle isn't so much, anything about he was doing this for a friend or anything like that. It's about, if you're not going to charge all of these rioters that you keep calling peaceful protesters for all the acts of violence they did, to include assaulting my client and attempted murder on my client, then your argument is moot. And I would push that the entire case until they dropped it. I think that the misdemeanor weapons charges are a legitimate thing, and I think they ought to. His punishment ought to be community service, because apparently he's pretty good at that. He went down there to take care of graffiti, and I've heard some people say, I wouldn't let my 17-year-old go down there. I tell you what, if my 17-year-old wanted to go one town over, even if it was across state lines, to do community service, to help with graffiti, and I told him, all right, just be home before dark. And he gives me a call as it's starting to get dark going, somebody asked me to protect the car lot. I want to do that. My answer wouldn't be, get your ass out of there or whatever. It would be, all right, I'll be down there in a minute. And I'd be bringing his rifle, and might be bringing his mom with her rifle. So instead of one asshole with an AR-15 defending a car lot, there'd be 3 of them. And probably sidearms too. So what I want to know is, did his parents know that he was there for the day just to clean up graffiti, or did they know he was going to be there at night? He was going to be protecting. Did they know that he was going to be armed? Did they know the person who armed him? Were they in contact with him? Did they tell him to come home? And if they didn't tell him to come home, then why the hell weren't they down there backing him up?
Yeah. Well, I think too, I do think he was there with the best intentions. I don't know obviously we don't know what he knew when he was going there. Maybe he was going just to clean up. And then his buddy called him and said, hey, we're going to go over and defend this business, and he said, okay, let's do that. I mean, who knows? It could have been a spur of the moment thing. Maybe not. And I'm sure that will come out. I'm sure his motivations will be talked about. I just one of the things that C4 out the sergeant said, you can defend property with force. The rioters chose to make it a deadly force encounter. I agree with that. One of the things I just asked him was, can you defend somebody else's business though, without a security license? I think that could be a really sticky point too. I think he's going to, like I said, I think he's going to pull some sort of weapons charges. It doesn't look like he's going to get out of that. But murder or assault or whatever in using that gun, I don't know. I mean, it's sad to say, but I think it's going to depend on whose asses are in the seats in the jury, right? They're going to see this kid and be like, this kid went down there to be a hero and be Rambo, or this kid went down there and something horrible happened and he had to defend himself.
What's going in his favor is the fact that nobody he shot was black, right?
I agree.
Unfortunately, don't take this the wrong racial way. Unfortunately, that has become a point in our culture right now. Is someone who wasn't the same as this person shot this person, therefore it's immediate racist.
If he got misdemeanor weapons charges and they dropped any of the felonies, and they anything that was assault, murder, brandishing, anything like that, it was just the misdemeanor weapons charges for being across state line or being underage or not having the hunting license or whatever, right? Some sort of technicality. They gave him a slap on the wrist. America's probably going to forget this. But if one person he shot was black, and he got nothing short of first-degree murder in the electric chair, they'd burn down the whole damn state.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Wisconsin has a death penalty.
Well, they would demand it. They would demand that he get extradited to Texas then or something. I don't know. But all I'm saying, and that's what I mean, how ridiculous some of this stuff is. And I'm not trying to piss anybody off by saying this, and I ain't no racist or none of that other stuff. I'm just calling things the way they are, and I'm not afraid to do it. And I'm so sick of people being afraid to say what they really think, or what we've seen, or how we know things are going to go, or whether we agree with it or not. And I'm not being devil's advocate. I don't like that. There's a better way to say it, but I mean, it's pathetic how bad this stuff has gotten. And if we look at the riots in the past, like 92 and 67 and things like that, and you look at some of the stuff there, you can see some similarities here, and you can take what happened historically and look at that and maybe use that to maybe make a good judgment call on what you would do or what you should be doing if you're concerned that riots are going to come to where you live.
Yeah. Well, let's do the devil's advocate, and I'll say that Reginald Denny shouldn't have been down there during the LA riots. He should have known better.
Technically, he probably should have. Let's be real. That doesn't mean that he wasn't there. I'm just saying that understand that what I'm trying to say is this. To me, it makes no difference why he was there. It makes no difference that he's 17. I could care less if he was 17 or 67. I don't care why he was there. I'm saying he's screwed. That's all I'm saying. It makes no difference what I feel of the situation or not. Legally, he's screwed. And that's the sad thing about it is you're going to have a kid whose life changed for the rest of his life for doing something in the eyes of most of the public. Most of the public would say, I'd do the same thing. And I think we've all said that. If a friend of ours called and said, would you come down? Would we do the same thing? Absolutely, we would. Legally, he's screwed.
One way or another, exactly. I 100% agree. One way or another, he's going to be screwed. Whether it be a weapons charge, whether it be a murder charge, he's going to be screwed no matter what.
Okay, this is what I'd like to see if he gets charged with a felony. If Trump gets reelected, after the reelection, he gives him a pardon and a commission in the military.
Well, you couldn't force him to go to the commission to the military. I mean, that would be a draft.
Not force him. Offer him.
Isn't that deferred?
No, I hear what you're saying.
Where it was either 5 years in jail or we send you off.
Well, we all know. Well, I'm sure Squib does. I know people, and Squib probably does too, that people that had a choice, literally. One of my best friends that died had a choice of going to jail or going to the Marine Corps, and he chose the Marine Corps. So let's be real about it. That is a real thing.
I didn't mean it as a punishment. I meant it as a reward.
No, I understand.
We need more kids like that in uniform. Did you see how well he handled himself? I mean, you want to talk about cool under fire? That kid was cool under fire.
Think about this. Think about how this kid acted. This kid kept and maintained control of his weapon the entire time. He kept low ready when he had to keep low ready. He went up when he had to go up. He went down when he had to go down. He did.
Do you know what's a perfect job for this kid? And Squib will know what I'm talking about. A Navy corpsman. He'd be a perfect corpsman.
He did everything right.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. And anybody.
He was there for medical reasons. Yep. He put that first and foremost.
And anybody who thinks that, you know, just because they patch wounds or give you ointment for athlete's foot or something, that they don't do an important job, you got to be kidding me. Navy corpsmen are some of the most heroic people you will ever meet. Not only can they fight, but they can save lives, and they'll go into some of the most dangerous situations to save somebody's life. And you know, from time to time they have to use a weapon, and they know how to. Yeah, he would make a really good corpsman.
And as far as it goes for the pardon, yeah, I would absolutely 110% support the pardon.
I got a question. I mean, all throughout the years that all of us have been doing this, we've always talked about laws. And the laws define us and separate us from the criminals. Now, what happened to that aspect in gun culture? Because I remember a lot of people would talk about, you know, the laws is what separates us from criminals, from the law-abiding citizen, and these laws hurt the law-abiding and not the criminals. Are we going to continuously give passes on people that break the law, whatever the law may be? Or are we going to have to be held to our values, which these laws are the laws that we follow because we're law-abiding citizens? Or are we going to take the narrative of, Well, yeah, he broke some laws, but he did a goddamn good job. He's a patriot. We should make a statue of him. I mean, when does that?
But we've also said that there's bullshit laws out there.
We obey those bullshit laws.
Hold on. So let me say this, man. I get where you're going with it, and I understand it. But you got to understand this too. Yeah, he broke laws, but at the same time, he defended himself 110% legally.
He had no choice. I agree. He had no choice.
So
it was over.
There were infractions, absolutely, but he did what he had to do. And if you were in the same situation, I guarantee you'd have did the same thing.
I guarantee I wouldn't have put myself in the same situation though.
But here's the problem he's going to have is what is the legal system going to see him as? They're not going to see him as a hero. They're going to see him as a vigilante. Is what they're going to see him as.
That's where it lies. You know, I talked about this earlier on my chat too. I was like, again, playing devil's advocate. These guys are going to be all, you know, if he goes in front of the courts, they're gonna give him hell. Why did you cross state lines? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? They are going to tear him a new asshole. And unless he has a really good lawyer, he's going to be screwed.
He's going to have some great lawyers that are already stepping up that will defend him. The problem is it's going to come down to a plea. That's what it's going to come down to. It'll be a plea. Because legally, once again, whether we think he's right or wrong, legally, he broke some laws. And it's going to come down to a plea, and it's going to come down to a judgment of public opinion. Does the prosecuting attorney want to prosecute this kid? And we don't know. I don't know what the prosecuting attorney in Kenosha, Wisconsin is. I don't know if he's pro-gun, anti-gun, if he wants to make a statement, if he's looking to become a senator at some point. Who knows?
So right now, I know they're trying to prosecute. I don't know exactly.
Well, they have to charge him. There's no doubt they have to charge him. No. But do they pursue those charges?
I forget exactly what the charge was. I'd have to go look it up. I can't remember.
But legally, he may have committed a Class A misdemeanor. And the article that I linked in the side is there may be an exception to him even committing that. So if we're all agreed here that everything that he did was in self-defense because he was attacked by somebody, by the first guy throwing stuff at him and then going after him and trying to assault him and take his rifle.
And not to forget the guy that shot behind the guy that threw the brick or whatever. He fired a shot.
There's also stuff coming out that there may have been a shot.
Correct.
I haven't.
I've heard that.
There was one shot before Kyle shot.
So he was assaulted there. Then he tried to render aid there, and then people started coming at him when he was getting ready to render aid. So he left that situation. And he was attacked again.
And after he defended himself, he was walking away. Before he got to the cops. Before he got to the cops and surrendered, there was somebody behind him. There was behind him shooting still.
He left the original shooting where he was assaulted. There may have been somebody that fired another shot. He tried to render aid. The group started to get out of hand around him, so he took himself out of that situation and tried to get to the police line. At which point he was attacked again.
Yes.
And somebody tried to drop kick him. He had somebody swing a skateboard and hit him in the head.
Yes.
And he had somebody pull a gun on him.
I think
he killed two of the attackers there. Then he went and tried to turn himself into the police. So if we're all in agreement that all three of those people that he shot attacked him, then all three of those are self-defense.
Yes.
And the one thing he's looking at is possibly a misdemeanor, an misdemeanor class A or whatever they called it, and even that is questionable according to that article that I linked in the side.
Does anybody know
that is the one law that he may have, that one law that he may have broken, may not have broken. And I know I'm on the record that there's a lot of bullshit gun laws out there, and that would be one of them, that, you know, a 17-year-old can have a long gun.
One other thing he's going to have
21 in it.
One other thing he's going to have to deal with, whether he's charged or not charged, is if it's true, what I heard, his mother's saying that he's unconsolable right now and can't stop crying. And he's been, he's a younger guy that's
killed someone. Of course, he's going to be unconsolable.
Been through a lot. Well, how does he come out on the other side of this? Say he gets off scot-free. Does he get over this? How long?
I just said earlier, his life has changed forever, bro. No matter what happens, his life has changed.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
No matter what, his life has changed.
If he gets off with this or not, his life has changed forever. And
the hardest part that's going to be part of this is intent. And the question that's going to pop up is, what was his intent on being there with the rifle to begin with? That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
That's the biggest question out there. And I can guarantee you, if he's let off, not let off, he's going to have issues no matter what. And he's going to end up having to go through therapy of some sort. And, you know, that's just how it's going to be. It doesn't matter. Regardless of what anyone else thinks, that's how it's going to be. The kid's going to end up dealing with that. Taking someone's life is not a simple thing to do. It seems simple, but it's not simple.
Because I think it's a small part that gets overlooked. Because everybody says, well, he handled himself really well, which he did. I mean, at the time, he did what he needed to do. But then once it's over, and Ghost probably, you know, the PTSD part, once it's over, everything's calm, then everything sets in, kind of thing. And that's all stuff he needs to get over.
That's why it's called post-traumatic. I mean, it's not going to happen right then. It's going to happen right now. He's sitting there going, holy shit, what just happened? And I don't think and I don't know the kid, but I can't imagine that he is sorry. But he's going, what the hell just happened, and what's going to happen to me? That's natural.
I guarantee you, he's still processing everything that happened, and still trying to
everybody act normal. The cops are here.
And still trying to figure out exactly what he did, why he did, when he did. He's still trying to figure all that out, and he's going to end up waking up one day where he's like, man, I don't think I can handle this. And he won't. He won't be able to handle it. And that's when he's going to get some help. You know, it's going to be a tough situation. Taking someone's life is not an easy thing to do.
No, but lots of people have taken people's lives, you know, on a justified circumstance, and they've made it through life. Not everybody falls apart.
He'll make it. I'm not saying he won't make it. What I'm simply saying is he's got a lot of things to deal with.
Here's the thing. If he was thinking about it too much or processing it while he was doing it, he wouldn't have been so fluid, and he'd be the one who's dead right now. So you do it. If you're thinking about it while you're doing it, you're not going to do it. And it's like that Point Break thing. You know, if you hesitate, if fear will cause you to hesitate, and when you hesitate, your greatest fears will come true. So, yes, now he has plenty of time to process it, and I'm sure that they'll give him counseling. If he gets out, he'll have counseling. People will offer him counseling, and there will be other people who have PTSD from similar circumstances, maybe actual combat. I mean, this was sort of like combat. So, I mean, he's going to have people that will offer to let him know, hey, you're not alone. There are other people who've gone through this. You're going to be fine. Everything else. That really wouldn't be the thing I'm worried about so much, is just the legal fight he's going to have. And then the rest of his life, he's either going to have somebody that walks up to him on the street and wants to high-five him, or somebody that wants to, you know, stab him. So he's got to deal with that forever.
ahead of them, and I'm not arguing that point one bit, man. I'm not, and you're right, exactly that. You know, there's going to be people that are going to reach out to him, and I hope they do. He's going to need the help.
He's going to have all the support that he wants. I mean, let's just be honest. He's going to have all the support that he wants, and I don't think that this is going to be an issue of him going down a dark hole. I don't think that's the issue, because I still think that in his mind, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but in his mind, I think he is absolutely justified. And when you feel that you are 100% justified in whatever you do, there won't be second guessing. The questions that he's asking is what the hell's going to happen to me? Am I going to be punished for something that he doesn't believe it was wrong? I truly don't believe he thought he was wrong. I don't think he was. But legally, there's going to be some questions, and he's going to have to start second guessing himself. Was I right or wrong? That's where the problems are going to come into play, is where does he go mentally as far as being right or wrong versus what he did?
And part of the problem, too, and I don't know what he said to the cops when he called the cops, but part of the problem, too, is you got to remember this. So, for an example, and I know C4 Sarge will agree with me, if a cop gets in a shooting, for example, they have at least 72 hours before they have to make a statement. Whereas if a civilian gets in a shooting, they're going to try and push you to make a statement as quick as they can get you to make a statement, because they want.
That's only partially true.
Doesn't mean you have to make it.
Well, no, it doesn't mean you have to make it, and that's
you can lawyer up, not say anything.
You don't have to make it, but they're going to push you to make it.
Lawyer.
So what?
Well, he's under 18. He has to have a parent there.
Well,
you can't say that they let a cop go 72 hours without making a statement, and then say that a civilian has to, because a civilian does not have to.
No, they don't have to. They try to push you to.
So
he's a juvenile.
They're trying to do their job.
He has to have a parent there.
I'd be willing to bet that if Sarge took a shot tonight, even though he might have 72 hours, they're going to try to push him tonight to talk about it. Were they not?
They're going to, but I guarantee you that. My point is we don't know what the kid said within the first couple hours that he got interviewed. That's my fucking point.
He didn't say shit. He went home.
He went home.
He tried to turn himself in, and they told him to keep moving, and then he went home.
What he said when he got home. That's my point.
This is a politically based charge. They overcharged. They can't meet the burden of proof. He'll be acquitted, or it'll be dismissed or he'll be found not guilty. Let's go ahead and mark it down.
Or the second that he appeals, it'll be overturned. If he is found guilty, it won't hold up. I don't think, will it? I can't imagine.
It's the classic overcharge, politically motivated, trying to get the city to not burn anymore, and they'll never be able to meet the burden of proof of the first degree murder. So they'll offer a plea. What is the plea deal in 2 counts of first degree murder? What, life without parole? He's not going to take that. He's 17. So
they could do manslaughter, but what would that sentence be?
Exactly. What is it in that state? So it'll either be dismissed or he'll go to trial and be found not guilty. This is the classic overcharge. Happens every time. It's the same thing they did. They do this repeatedly. Anytime they rush to judgment, and the guy in Atlanta, Rolf, that's probably a legal shooting. It looks like a legal shoot. And they charged him with first degree murder, assault. They charged him with multiple counts of assault for the fight that occurred prior to the use of deadly force. This guy was resisting arrest. It's a classic overcharge. They'll never be able to meet it. And then there'll be another riot when he's acquitted or found not guilty.
Does anybody how many times do they overcharge almost on, not saying they do it on purpose, but they know a lot of times they overcharge, do they not?
Because they can't resist the urge to try to calm the public and say we're doing something. They don't have the willpower to say
that's it
that
right
this
there.
is an investigation. Justice will be served. They want justice that week. You can't please them. Nothing would have pleased anyone in Minneapolis other than lynching those officers in Minneapolis in the George Floyd incident. They want justice. It doesn't matter to them that they were charged and they've been arrested. That's not relevant. They want justice. I don't know what that is to them, but they want it right then, right now. They wanted a public lynching, I guess. I don't know what
they're going to do whatever they can to publicly make it known. This is what we're going for. This is exactly what we want. And it may happen, it may not happen, but they're going to try.
Well, Sarge said it perfectly. They're doing what they think is right to not let the city burn tonight.
Yep, that's what they always do. They can't. They don't have the willpower to say we're conducting an investigation. And an investigation doesn't end tonight. It doesn't end tomorrow. It is concluded once we find the truth. An investigation is not about an arrest or not an arrest. It's about finding the truth. What you'll have is politically motivated district attorneys or state's attorneys that are trying to push another agenda, just like with this kid. You could say whatever you want to about the initial shooting at the car lot. I don't know all the details. We can speculate about that. You can't speculate about the guy that was cracking him in the head with the skateboard, and you can't speculate about the guy that was trying to shoot him with the pistol. Those guys got what they deserved. The only one that's even debatable is the first one. That's just because all the facts aren't out there yet.
The first one is where I have an issue, and I agree with you, man. That's where I have an issue, because all the videos that I've seen so far, you don't get a good angle, and you can't tell exactly what happened.
Right, but they've already got witness statements that came out today.
Mm-hmm.
That at the first shooting, he threw the guy he shot threw something at him and then chased him and assaulted him. Those are in witness statements.
Okay.
That I saw today.
Everything doesn't take place in the eye of the camera.
Right.
So according to witness statements, he was assaulted by the guy that he shot at the first one.
Well, and again, there's a difference between someone throwing something at you, chasing you. Is it life-threatening? There's a big difference.
When they try and take your rifle from you, yes.
Absolutely.
When they try and take your rifle from you, they are trying to kill you.
A strong arm robbery, at the very least. If you want to don't even worry that it's a rifle. If someone's chasing you down and using force and trying to take something from you, you use force to protect life, not force to protect the property.
Those are witness statements that are out there already. That the dirtbag that threw something at him, then chased him, then assaulted him, tried to take his rifle. So that one's been done. We have witness statements. We have there were multiple witnesses to that one. One of them was a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the statements were that was the guy that actually filmed it, and he said that it was lunch to grab the rifle
by the muzzle, and that didn't work out.
Nope.
He got the business.
So there you go. So there you go. That one, according to witnesses, is self-defense.
And that's fine. I hadn't heard that yet, and no, I haven't.
And then swinging the skateboard at him.
Yep.
And having
the skateboard.
Yep, hit him in the head with the skateboard. You had another guy that was trying to drop kick him, and you had a guy that was pulling a pistol on him. So there was three on one. That is great bodily harm.
And he was running for his life.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the right to chase him down and try to kill him. They were not within their rights to try to do that.
And there was other people shooting at him.
Yeah, this is it's a mockery of justice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I agree with what he did. He defended himself. He did what he had to do. I hadn't heard on the first one, and thank you guys for clarifying on the first one. You know, I like I said, I agreed with what he did. He did what he had to do. I just didn't know on the first one. So,
you know, what's even scarier on this is the incident that happened the day after in Minneapolis, where that dude shot himself, and then the media said the culprit on the shooting people.
Oh yeah,
that was even worse. You think this stuff is bad? Jesus, that totally turned into a shit show. If you think this is bad, you should go and read that about that one. That one was bad, and there's video of it too, which is
video of what kicked off the whole thing in Kenosha.
Yeah,
he fought the cops. He got tasered. That didn't work. He had a knife in his hand. And then he was yelling, "I'm going to get my gun out of my car," and then went to try and get a gun out of his car for all the cops knew. And they still tried to stop him until they couldn't stop him from reaching into the car. And then they lit his ass up. It doesn't matter. The videos don't matter anymore because even when the evidence is out there, these people don't care.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's that they catch somebody shooting somebody, whether if it was in defense or not, the video is just proof of somebody else's in their own eyes is their own point of view of what they feel is the truth.
Well, part of it is the way it looks to the people. I'm not playing devil's advocate and I'm not defending these idiots, but they said, you shot him in the back. You shot him 7 times. If he was facing them and they were able to take him down with one shot, I'm not saying they still wouldn't be outraged. They shot my baby. He was just trying to whatever, but
he was trying to get a gun.
I understand that. But I'm just saying that certain times, certain ways people get shot, even if they're getting shot by the police because the police are in fear for their lives or the lives of the people around them. The appearance of it makes the situation look worse or look more like the whole, cops executing people thing, which is total BS.
Squib's not wrong. He is right about the perception is reality.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look at what was that one where the guy was walking along and the cop was asking him, and the guy pulled out a gun out of his jacket and turned around and shot the cop.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
so these guys are supposed to wait until the guy actually gets the gun out of his car and turns around. Screw that.
They have to wait for him to fire it too, just to make sure he wasn't just going to blow.
The average person doesn't understand what a cop goes through, and the average person has their perception. Sarge, you're a superhero in an action movie. Do you know you can kill 8 people in the first hour of your shift and you be back to work the next day? You might get a new partner. Maybe it'll change it up on you, and there's going to be lots of buddy cop puns every day at work. But that's what people think your job is, that you are cops in the movies.
So we got Sarge out there, and Sarge, I haven't talked to you in a long time, man. And I apologize that we haven't, dude, because I miss talking to you. But I can almost guarantee that you're the same way as I am, man, when it comes to this is a tough one, because when it comes to defending yourself, you have every right to do so. Every right to do so. And when you get into public and you have other people around you and other stuff going on, you are responsible to make that decision whether you pull and fire or retreat. And it's a tough decision to make.
Not always.
He retreated.
Not and again, it's a two-way street. It's tough. It's
fight or flight.
And for example, with this kid, for example, he did what he had to do, and he was put in a situation Whether he put himself there or not, I don't know. We all don't know. We can assume. We can go back and forth, argue about it, left, right, and center. To be honest with you,
he's screwed. For the time being, he's screwed.
He put himself there, whether you like it or not.
I think too, something that I'd said earlier, and Mac TV was out there earlier. Him and I were talking a little bit, and he had said, "Oh, you're condemning this kid, or you're saying that he's, is destined for a whatever because of PTSD or something like that." That's not. I don't. I don't think that's what any of us are saying. I think one of the things we're saying, what I was saying earlier, was even if he doesn't catch any bad charges, like even if it's just a misdemeanor or whatever, for the rest of his life, I mean, he's killed 2 people and shot another one. And half the country, and I know it's not half the country thinks he's a murderer. And that's got to weigh on you, man. Like, you've got to
25% probably. They're just allowed 25%.
Okay. Yeah. So half the, 25% of the country thinks you're a murderer. Like, what does that do to you as a person? Right. I'm not even talking about age, but I'm just talking about if it happened to one of us. Like, you'd be looking over your damn shoulder.
Once again, his life has changed forever.
We got a few people out there. We got Sarge. We got Ghost. They've obviously had to do what's necessary when the time comes, and I'm sure they can attest to that. Myself personally, I've never had to shoot someone. I wish I don't. I really don't. Have I ever had to defend myself? Absolutely. But it's been using my hands. It's been taking care of it with that aspect of it. There's a huge difference. Huge difference.
Let me put this in perspective for Mac TV, and your mileage may vary. I had my business broken into on April 17th of 2006. I wasn't there. I was miles away at home in bed asleep. I still know that my business was broken into April 17th of 2006. So to say that this kid isn't going to deal with anything after having taken 2 lives and shot another person is bullshit. I don't care if he doesn't, he's a psychopath.
Has anyone ever come home to your house being broken into? If you have, then you know what I'm getting ready to say is, I don't care how tough you are, what you do. For the next week, you're not going to sleep much. You're seeing, are they going to come back? Mm-hmm. So imagine if you're worried about your house being broken into versus what this kid publicly on national television is going through. Regardless if he's right or wrong, it makes no difference. This kid's life is changed forever.
Well, I'll put this into perspective. Man, I'm walking home, and I'm right across the street from my house, and these 2 guys pull up on me, and they stick a gun to my chest, and they rob me. And this happened a couple years ago. All right? So, I mean, why do you think I carry a gun? What, you think I carry a gun because I want to be Billy Badass? No, I was robbed at gunpoint. I was a victim of a violent crime. This stuff changes you when it happens to you. It's great to Monday morning quarterback. But when you're actually a victim of a violent crime, I mean, it changes your perspective on humanity, life, your life in general, and your family's life in general. I could easily have lost my life that night. Not only that, some of the words that came out of my mouth, I even questioned myself after it happened. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because it didn't make the 2 dudes that robbed me very happy of what I said. But yet again, it happened. So, I mean, this happened a couple years ago, and I still remember it. And I still remember the 2 guys' faces. And you know what else I still remember? I still remember people that were coming out of the same place I was, getting robbed the same way and the same MO. So I mean, it's happened.
One of the biggest problems people are going to have is being able to understand what's happening when it happens. It's going to happen so fast, and you don't know what's going on. That's how fast it happens. And we talk about training, and we talk about being prepared for any situation and being aware of your surroundings. We say it for good reason, because these things will happen so fucking fast, you're not going to know what to do. And you have to be able to stop and react and move and get yourself out of that situation. And the only way to do that is to keep practicing, keep training, and prepare for things that may or may not happen. You might train for all kinds of random ass shit and you'll never see it in your life. But being prepared, understanding that this may happen, that is the key. For years and years and years, I dealt with all kinds of stuff when I was in school, and we're talking years and years and years ago. Just that little portion of bullying will change a person, and if you can't adapt and change and grow yourself from those types of things, you're never going to make it. You have to be able to turn around, adapt, grow yourself, make yourself better. You know, it's a tough situation. You know, we got roll call. Roll call got held at gunpoint. I've had guns pointed at me before. I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but I've had them pointed at me before. It's not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight, one bit. And he made it through. Was he scared shitless? I guarantee you he was. Guarantee you he was. But he took steps and got himself through it, and then made a conscious decision to be a gun owner and train and learn and move forward. And that's the fucking difference.
That's all we can do.
You know, you're never asked to be put in those situations. You're never asked to be put in those situations. That's where a lot of people miss the point. You know, just like my situation, I didn't ask for that to happen to me. It just did. It was a random act of violence. These situations are a tad bit different. Don't get me wrong. You know, when you go to these spots, this stuff is a huge possibility that it can happen. And I just got some breaking news over my phone. I think they identified the guy that shot that dude last night in Portland. So we'll have to see what this guy rolls out to be. Because the last few guys that are over there doing some dirt, they're not the kindest of fellows.
The bad thing is we're having to deal with, no matter what the Kenosha, either one of the Kenosha incidents, Portland, you've got Minneapolis, you've got Atlanta. The problem that we're having to face right now is not a legal issue. It's not our Second Amendment rights. It's the court of public opinion. And right now our country is on fire. Let's call it what it is. Our country's on, whether it's right or wrong, our country's on fire. And the unfortunate thing about that is there's going to be things like this pop up all the time now. And the only way to make sure that you are not a part of it, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think obnoxious, and I 100% agree, don't put yourself in a position that you know it could escalate. Now, the random acts of violence, sure, that happens. That's why we carry. But if you know that there is a chance of escalation, just don't put yourself in that position.
I'll agree with that 100%. Don't put yourself there. Don't be there. We're dealing with the media fighting us, and they are fighting us hard. They are causing us more problems than good. And that's how they've always been. And we know this. We've dealt with this for years. We have to be the bigger person. We have to be the bigger party. We have to be able to step up, stand back a little bit, and say, you know what? We're not going to go where you want us to go. We're going to stand back, do what we got to do. And when the time comes, yeah, we're going to step up to the plate. But we're going to step back for right now.
But in the meantime, are we supposed to just step back and let them burn down the cities because the government won't do anything about it? Or are we all just waiting for after the election to see what happens?
Again, man, they're pushing us. They're testing us. They're trying to get us to cause trouble. Do we want to be that way? I'm not saying I won't defend this country, because trust me, I'll defend this country 110%. But I'm not going to step out there and be a part of something that they're trying to cause. They're trying to cause us to jump into this. They're trying to make us something we're not. And we have to be careful how we do this. I'm all for standing for this fucking country. I'll do it. You know I will. I'll have every one of your backs. But there's no way in hell I'm stepping out there and throwing rounds out there when these guys are out there trying to make us do that on fucking purpose and make us look bad and make us the fucking problem.
I see a difference between standing in front of a building and saying, no, you're not passing this line, and marching into a crowd of these nut jobs and just opening fire or what have you. Okay, I see a big difference between those two things. I'm not talking about going down there in the middle of it while they're rioting and trying to push them back or trying to assault them. I'm talking about standing there when they're far away and saying, if they get here, we're ready. I see a difference between the two.
But see that again, that's part of the fucking problem. They're trying to draw us out. They're trying to cause a problem. And I don't know about you, man. I don't know about anyone else here, but again, dude, there's nothing I want to do to defend this country, but I'm not gonna stand up there and be a part of what they're trying to be, which they're trying to make us a part of the fucking problem.
Well, that's one of the more what Scott's been saying is something that's very worrisome too. To me, is you see the video of the dude in red that got capped first after he threw the whatever he threw. You have video of him earlier on in the night, like instigating and taunting and yelling at the guys in the that were armed and telling them, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, and there's more and more of those people, it seems, that are willing to instigate to the point of violence, and that's a scary thing to be around, man. That's tough.
It's mind-boggling. Like, everybody is dismissing what these three boneheads have done previously. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about it. They're continuing their criminal life by doing what they did that night.
Yeah, but their previous actions don't matter.
Two of them aren't.
Their previous actions don't matter. I mean, it goes to show a pattern if you were going to charge them with something.
Yeah, that's only a legal thing. Yeah.
Their previous actions don't matter. The only actions that matter in this altercation is the ones that they did. The previous actions don't matter. I mean, it's great meme fodder. It's great for us feeling better about the whole thing because he took out, 2 felons and wounded another one. That's all to make us feel better. But
that's two felons and a sex offender.
Yeah, but their previous records or their previous actions or whatever you want to call it don't matter in this at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not one bit.
Kyle did not know who those men were previous to the incident. So, like you said, you're exactly right, Obnoxious. It's this kid defended himself in a situation that he was put in. It had nothing to do with what they had done previously in their life.
No, he simply did.
No, it's great meme fodder, and it's stuff to make us feel, make people feel better about who he took out, because he didn't shoot the all-state quarterback. He shot 3 felons. He didn't shoot the guy that volunteers at the homeless shelter and hands out stuff in the food lines. He shot 3 felons. What's a more
worrisome? Yeah, what's a more worrisome problem in my eyes is that you have people in the NBA. Let's take for instance, who have, whether we like it or not, pro athletes have an enormous amount of power socially. They boycotted playoff games defending a dude who had already been charged previous times. The cops were called on the residents for a domestic dispute, had a knife, had already been waving the knife, and told the cops that he was going to his car to get a gun, and they're boycotting basketball games defending this guy. That's the problem we have to worry about.
Once again, this is all the root of our instant information age of whatever gets out there first, regardless of whatever sells better, sounds better, or pushes the narrative, is going to be what sticks in people's heads. It's going to be, there was a flooding and a hurricane down in Louisiana. Then people get on with their lives. They don't care that. Oh yeah, because of that, a natural gas pipeline ruptured and killed more people. Or, oh yeah, it's not as bad as they originally thought, or this or that. It's that ancient freaking adage that the lies have gone around the world 3 or 4 times before before the truth has even gotten out of bed. People don't care. They'll keep reading whatever confirms their bias or confirms what they believed to begin with, and regardless of whether it comes out, they're either just going to ignore it or going to say that's not true, or
And again, that's where we got to be careful. We got to pay attention to their narrative, because all these media outlets are simply out there for views. That's all they're there for. They're not there for anything else. They're there for the agenda and the views. And we have to pay attention and understand what's going on, and do our part in supporting, for example, this kid, we all feel he was in the right, so we got to support him. We got to stand behind him.
I'm going to say one thing about that. Ultimately, the news channels are there for advertising dollars. That's what they're there for.
That's all they're there for, man.
It's just a TV show.
They're there to make money. They're there to do
and sell commercials.
And profit, period.
To scare you to buy stuff.
This is the same thing that was going on back during the Gilded Age in America, pretty much from the 1870s up to the 1930s and so, of the muckraking, of the yellow journalism. And yes, I know that's probably racist now. Newspapers have always tried to push a certain agenda. Whether that agenda was, hey, we're just going to report the news, or, oh, hey, yeah, the guy who owns the newspaper is buddy with this guy who's running for governor. So, yeah, people don't seem to really want to look back at the past or even think about it, that, oh, hey, shit like this has happened before, and yet we kind of got over it, or we got to a point of where it wasn't as shitty, but now it's going back downhill again. It's either... Yeah.
The problem is we have to admit that there are social issues. That's the elephant in the room. There are obviously issues, but the problem is instead of being able to talk and to figure out a solution, we're not given that opportunity. Well, for whatever reason, whether it's media, whether it's organizations, whatever the reasoning is, taking fire to the streets is what is sexy, and that's what's happening.
And therein lies the problem, man. And I hate to say this because I'm not I'm not trying to go there, but you got the left and you got the right. And unfortunately, for whatever fucking reason, they can never come together and sit down and have a conversation instead of an argument. It always turns into an argument. It always turns into something that shouldn't be there. And instead of, well, what's best for the fucking people, it ends up being, well, what's best for me? And that's not how it should be. They're there to represent us. They're there to represent the people. They're there to take care of us, supposedly take care of us.
Unfortunately, they're there for money and power.
Because they're the same. They're different sides, sometimes the same sides, even sometimes an edge of the same freaking coin. They understand that, oh, hey, we can get people to listen. I can get these people over here to listen to me, to hate you, and you can get your people over there to listen to you, to hate me and my people. We're freaking set. We can stay in power. We can milk the system for as long as we freaking want, as long as we keep this person over here angry, this person over here angry, and we can start picking up all these different groups, putting them in their own little boxes, and putting a lid on each one of them so they only hear what we're saying, so that they don't talk to each other. They don't realize, hey, this guy over here is kind of fucking us over, and the guy who's running against us is really trying to fuck us over. How about Bob? How about Bob over here? He's probably not going to try and fuck us over, right?
I mean, a prime example is masks. Everyone out there is wearing fucking masks. I haven't worn one yet. I don't care. I won't fucking wear one. I will not do it, period. I've been in multiple stores. I've been told when I walk in the store, we require masks. I'm like, great, I got a medical issue. Fuck you. I ain't wearing one. I won't do it. But there's so many people out there that are willing to comply with the bullshit.
I'm not. I don't want to get into the mask conversation really, but why? And this is just a quick answer, and we'll move on. Why won't you wear one?
Because I'm not a fucking sheep. I'm not compliant.
But I mean, but why?
If you can literally prove to me the science behind the fact of a mask, that it will actually do something, I'd wear one. But you can't. Because a micron of a fucking virus is way smaller than a mask will accept. So it'll go right through that fucking mask all day long. All day long. So why would I wear a mask? That micron
as a courtesy
is going to penetrate that mask every fucking day of the week.
If you had a family member that had a kid with an immune system, an issue with their immune system, and they asked you, could you wear a mask so you can see the kid? Would you tell them, fuck you, I'm not wearing a mask?
They'd have to prove it to them.
What did you say, Scotsman? You and Sarge talked at the same time.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't wear a mask. I'm sorry, but there's no evidence.
I love your passion, but I no offense, but I highly doubt that. If you were asked by a family member to wear a mask, you're saying fuck that 10-year-old kid?
Nothing out there that proves it does a fucking thing.
All right, and it's
a respect thing, bro.
Like
I'd like to say, it's like wearing pants or having a cover garment. It's a courtesy.
A simpler answer would be, I just won't go over.
Yep.
But if they want to drag their 10-year-old kid with an immunocompromised out into public to the grocery store,
that's not what I said.
At home,
calm down.
Squib. That's not what he
asked.
That's
not what I said. That's not what I said, Squib. Don't get all bent on me. I just
Look, it's this simple. It's this simple, man. If I go to a store and they turn around and say, we're not going to let you in regardless, that's fine. I'll walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk away. I don't care. I won't spend my money. But until there's an actual proof that masks actually do anything, it ain't going to happen.
Would you, if you were having surgery or your family member was having surgery, would you care if the doctor and the nurses were wearing masks?
They don't do anything.
That's different.
No, it's not.
Why is it different?
It's different. Okay, people wearing a piece of cloth in the grocery store is different than a surgeon wearing a mask in the surgery room. It's as simple as that.
All right. You know what?
Please explain the logic underlying that statement, Squib.
Hold on. Do you understand why surgeons wear masks?
It's
So
to keep
when
their
they're
shit
Please
from their
explain.
body into getting into the person they're working on's body.
Surgeons and everyone else in that particular room wear masks to stop blood splatter. That's why they wear masks.
It's not just blood splatter, and they're not worried about your blood splattering on them. They're worried about the germs that they are breathing and exhaling. It's not that it's airborne. What they're worried about is your spittle. You know, when you talk, you have moisture particles come out of your mouth, and that's how these things are traveling.
Oh my goodness! I'm in a room full of people that actually believe this COVID bullshit is real.
Hey, Midnight, what were you sick with for the last 2 weeks? Hey, Matt, what were you sick with for the last 3 weeks? Hey, Night Strike, Jonas, I know you're listening to this shit. What were you down with for 3 weeks?
A form of the flu, and they didn't die. Most people haven't died from it.
Yes, I know people have died. I've had
No
my
one
best
said that
friend's
anybody
father
had
died.
died. You said COVID wasn't real or wasn't a thing.
Okay, look.
No, I call it COVID bullshit.
It's simple. COVID is real. It is real. I'm not denying that.
Really a flu, and it doesn't kill most people.
Here's the problem, and here's what people need to realize. The CDC, for example, came out and said 6% of those 166 fucking thousand people that died, only 6 fucking percent actually died of COVID.
No,
Wake
that's
the fuck up.
That's not exactly what that means, though, either. They're saying 6% of the people that had it only had COVID, and they didn't have any other underlying conditions. So, I mean, some other people with underlying conditions, like I have high blood pressure. You know, I'm a big dude. I'm overweight, right? When I got sick, what you're saying is that my underlying conditions didn't have anything because I had underlying conditions, you can't count it as a COVID death, where, you know, that's not, you know, necessarily what.
All right, let me clarify something real fast, man. And so last week, it was about a week and a half ago, for example, we had a firefighter die.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the state of Ohio, in Cleveland, you know, hour down the road from me. He died of a blood clot.
Mm-hmm.
They call it COVID.
Right.
We know that's going on. Yeah, we know that's going on.
We know that people are padding the counts.
Hold on. They call it COVID and said he died of complications of COVID. He died of fucking blood clot. He didn't die of fucking COVID. He died of a blood clot.
But it's been from the beginning of it. They've been having people with issues with blood clots because of what COVID does to your system. So, I mean, if the guy was otherwise I'm not saying that people don't get blood clots and aneurysms and shit, throw aneurysms out of, 40-year-old just drops dead one day of an aneurysm. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But if an otherwise healthy person comes down with it and throws a blood clot and dies of it, it makes its way to their heart or their lungs. That's what's it called with the lungs, an embolism, I think it is when it's in your lungs.
Embolism.
Well,
embolism. Yeah.
Like this guy was in his fucking 60s,
right?
And they were trying to say he was in perfect health. I guarantee he was not.
Let's be honest. There's no one in this world that doesn't have some kind of underlying condition. Let's be honest. There's no one that's perfectly healthy.
This is my fucking thing, man. When it comes to this bullshit, and it's bullshit, and you can say what you fucking want. I've had more than enough of this shit. We've been dealing with this for almost an entire fucking year.
I think we're all tired of it, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
We're all tired of it.
It's literally fucking bullshit. I have known people that have had it it's lasted 3 fucking days.
I had it for weeks. So.
Yeah, but there's people that have different symptoms when they get COVID. Not everybody goes to the hospital and get respirators. And I've had people that I know gone and been on respirators and died, and they had COVID.
And I respect that, man. I do. I respect that. I'm not denying that there's people that have been out there that have had more complications and more issues. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, and because it affects people differently. That's why people say, "Oh, it's like getting the flu. I don't have to worry about it." No, it could affect you differently.
My problem is
the flu affects people differently too.
My problem is how it's presented by our government, our media, and basically everyone in our fucking country. The way they present it.
And I agree with you, man. If somebody dies and they say, "Hey, let's market it COVID," so they, we get funding or some PR out of it. I understand that. That's not right. But when somebody really gets COVID, then it should be respected, man. Because when they die of that shit, man, that's.
Let me play a little devil's advocate here. Does anybody in here not think they're padding the numbers?
Nope. They are padding the numbers. Oh, I'm sure they are. There's no doubt they are.
Does anybody not think they're padding the numbers?
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me say one.
Does anybody think that they're not? It's a simple question. Does anybody not think they're padding the numbers? That the numbers of COVID deaths that they're giving us are actually COVID deaths?
Let me say one thing, and then please continue.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's a yes or no. Do you think they're padding the numbers?
Yes, because every time a fucking hospital turns around and says
everyone does. Scotsman, we're not disagreeing with you. We're all saying they're padding the numbers, bro.
You don't pad the numbers if you're not trying to accomplish something else with it.
They get funding.
They say
everybody's screaming about how bad it is in the United States. You know why it's bad in the United States? Because we have an election coming up and because they get federal dollars for it.
Yep. November 5th is going to be much different. Guaranteed.
Well, yeah, we're going to be a civil war.
It's going to be it's just going to be different. I didn't say how. I just said it's going to be different.
We're going to need to turn those masks into tourniquets.
They literally came out and said that going to a protest for racial injustice was okay, but that should not be taken as a permissive stance on protests to reopen the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it was okay to go to a protest and a riot, but it's not okay to go down and protest or reopen your state, your city, your country.
Hell, a month ago they were saying it was okay to protest, but it wasn't okay to have a barbecue in your backyard with more than 10 people.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm. It's okay to go to have 18 funerals for George Floyd and have thousands of people at them, but you can't have more than 10 people go bury grandma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was okay for every important person in this country to go to the funeral for John Lewis. Grandma has to go in the ground with just 10 people there. If you've got 11 people, one person doesn't get to go pay their respects to grandma.
Here's my biggest thing, and some of you will like it, some of you won't. And I don't care if you do or don't. 9/11. Fucking New York tried to turn around and say they were going to fucking ban the 9/11 memorial. And so many people stood up and said, fuck you. Don't fucking do that. Make it happen. And to date, as of right now, they're still going to let it happen. But we, as a people, have to stand up and tell them, make it fucking happen.
I like cake.
Yeah, cake is good.
Brownies are better, especially if you get like
brownies are not better than cake, you fucking heathen.
Yes, they are. Hot brownies with vanilla ice cream and a little caramel sauce.
Well, you didn't say hot brownies with vanilla ice cream.
Let me fucking
son
finish.
Of a bitch. You just said brownies are better than cake.
We'll be back after these messages.
Fuck you. I like apple pie.
Apple pie and ice cream.
You and your Diet Beef Soda Zero crap and attempted brownie flavor, and it tastes like shit.
Scotsman doesn't
because that was you didn't use genuine Diet Beef Soda Zero. You used that shit that you produce that happens to cause irritable bowel syndrome, blindness, and moral degeneration of the American youth.
The blindness has not been proven at all.
Can you?
Son of a bitch.
Can you please stop talking about IBS?
Can we please talk about diet sprinkles?
What?
Hey,
it's not.
Hey, Ghost, you signed an NDA about discussing that on air. I'm going to have to ask for that. I'm going to have to ask for that box fan of crayons back.
You're a fucking problem. Stop talking about it.
The government told me I had to eat diet sprinkles. I said, "Fuck you, government."
Give me my full calorie sprinkles, you son of a bitch.
If I'm going to die, I'm going to die eating real sprinkles. Damn it!
Diet sprinkles. Fuck you.
In the immortal words of the nowhere near immortal Red Fox, you're going to feel awful silly laying there in a hospital bed dying from nothing.
Scotsman doesn't like diet sprinkles because they aren't cooked inside of a sheep's stomach, so he doesn't want nothing to do with it.
Sheep's stomach in Bali.
I don't like it because it's fucking bullshit, number one, because it's fucking diet, and number two, some fucking motherfucker out there was talking about fucking IBS. Fuck you.
IBS.
I think you had at least three words in there that were not fuck. Try harder next time.
I think it was only two.
Yeah, it was definitely two.
It's a slow night.
Let me correct myself. Fuck, and fuck. There you go. There's three.
What's different?
Hold on. Let me open up Google
pictures are the
Translate
same.
and go Scottish to English.
Ink says free online porn makes the hentai world go round. He's trying to change the subject like a son of a bitch out there.
I mean, if you want me to go fucking full on Scottish, fuck it, let's do it.
No, we can't handle that. You already had.
Well, it doesn't matter because we wouldn't understand a damn thing he's saying anyways. If you true Scottish, you can't understand
no,
it.
you wouldn't, but that's the fucking point. I can do it. Y'all will fucking hate it, but whatever.
Gabriel M. is saying, today I saw a sugar-free barbecue dry rub with stevia. Okay.
Yeah. Why not? That's
Did
cool.
you burn it?
Is it good?
Did you set it on fire?
I will say most of the actual artificial sweeteners are a lot sweeter than actual sugar.
I got a legitimate question for Scotsman. Why is it that Scottish people from the northern half of the country are much more, how do I put this, misunderstood than the southern part of Scotland? You can't understand a damn thing a northern Scot says. And you know what I'm talking about.
You think it's you can't understand what a northern Scot says?
I've actually had a discussion with two Scotsmen at the same time, and even the guy from the southern part of the country couldn't understand what the northern guy was saying.
So you mean like kind of when any of us goes down to like Louisiana or Baton Rouge?
That's probably true, yeah.
You know,
or Arkansas for that matter.
I kind of wish Clover was here.
No, you don't.
I mean, for that matter, go from.
I could go full Irish right now, and me and him would go at it, and you wouldn't understand a fucking word me and him were saying.
I am Irish, bro.
Go from northern Florida down to Miami. You go from the deep South accent down to absolutely no accent,
or New York accent,
or
New York
Is that
accent.
like around Cocoa Beach?
When it comes to the northern and southern part of Scotland, man, you're dealing with a whole different realm. I literally come from the northern part, and for anyone out there that doesn't know me, I literally come from and hail from Wallace himself. So I'm straight up fucking northern, and it's a different world. It is a different world.
I mean,
we have a different language going on up there. We're a little heavier. We're a little thicker. And
that's what I'm talking about. It's much heavier.
It just happens. I mean, look at North Carolina. I mean, I have no accent. I can barely understand. Sorry.
It's cute that he thinks he doesn't have an accent.
I mean, it's heavier, it's thicker, and one of the biggest things you'll find, northern versus southern, northern can drink more. We can handle liquor more. I don't know.
I think that's a pretty bold claim.
I ain't gonna lie. We can handle it a little bit more. I may or may not be talking from experience.
I get really Scottish when I start drinking. Really, you can't understand anything I say. Hashtag him and his juice.
Roll call. We can't understand a fucking thing you say anyway. What the fuck you talking about?
I just want to know when roll call is going to a baseball game and eating popcorn again because I want to make sure I'm DVRing it.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed to go to baseball games anymore.
Was that due to
That's 'cause you
the
passed
MLB
out.
authority or from the wifey?
My problem with roll call is I've never seen roll call drink anything but a light fucking beer.
I can concur. No, wait. I take that back. I did see him drink one taste of wine that someone gave him in Wanamaker.
Nope.
How do you think he keeps his girlish figure? The guy's got to keep.
So far, right now, as it stands, and he can change this if he wants to. He's more than welcome on a live stream anytime. But as it stands right now, he's a fucking pussy.
Don't do it, roll call. They'll fucking kill you. They'll kill you like you do it.
Wow, he straight up dropped the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him drink beer that wasn't light beer.
Thank you, Squib.
If you want to step up to the
It was Corona.
live stream, brother, I'm happy to have you. You're more than welcome, but you better be drinking.
I'm back in the Chicago
fucking pussy beer.
I'm back in the Chicago kid on this one.
I think roll call could. I think roll call can hang with you, bro. I have a good feeling that roll call would have no problem hanging.
I think he can hang with me too. I really do. I hope he can. I want him to. I want to see him show up on a live stream. I'd love to have him on, and I'd love to see him fucking hang with me, man. I want him to step up above that light bullshit.
You're gonna get him on a live stream. You're gonna get him all shit faced. He's gonna end up down at a protest, shoving job applications down Antifa dudes' throats again.
How'd you know? That's probably the. Did they ever find LMB Pro's body? I don't know. I don't know about my God.
No, we haven't. But by the way, we need more batteries for the robot that's taking his place. He's just eating through the D cells. We need lithium batteries.
I've been on live streams with Rocall before, and Rocall knows I won't let him go that far. I'll cut him out before that.
Hey, Scotsman, you should invite Carrie on your show. That would be an interesting one.
Oh boy,
100%. You should do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I just remember when Carrie went on Rocall's show.
That's the point. That's the point.
Oh my God, I was there.
Hold on, shut the fuck up. Who am I inviting?
Don't do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, fucking
You should totally invite her on so she can slander Pincus on your show too.
Do it. Yeah.
No stones if you don't.
Yeah.
I gave it a go, man, and it was going good there for a minute, and then, man, I tell you,
then she slandered Pincus and said what a bitch his little 4-year-old daughter was.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, who am I inviting?
I don't want to invite her. Invite Carrie Sloan. On Instagram, you can find her as Stilettos and Shotguns. So go for it.
I can't.
No,
the thing that kind of cracked me up about Carrie was that I was fine that she was going off on Rob Pincus and whatever he did, whatever. I was just shocked. I was like, wow, I never heard him do that. But the thing that got me was that because she accused the chat of not supporting her. Like, oh
no, the thing that got me was when she said what a little bitch his 4-year-old daughter was. That's what got me.
Yeah, he told his 4-year-old daughter what a fucking asshole he is to a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a line you don't cross, and yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, I was all shocked. You know, I didn't even know how to react. I was like,
Are you telling me to
how
bring
should I
you
respond to this?
my fucking chat? What the fuck?
You should totally do it.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
And then
Don't
as
do
a
it.
chaser, you and Dead Horse need to get into a drinking contest on air.
It would be classic. I can't
wait. Steve would not know what to do with Scotsman and Allen B Pro. That would be hilarious.
YouTube had already canned the show. You know, they're like, "Up, that's it. No more."
You could sell pay-per-view to that and do well with it.
Probably could.
Just make really clear when you have her on your show that you're not doing it for profit, because that will come.
Fuck that! I'd be doing.
She doesn't give a shit.
I've been doing it for profit. Fuck that shit, man. I'll be doing fucking just foul mission, dude. Fuck that shit. I'm making that shit.
Yeah. So Black Cat says he's in for a drinking contest. Black Cat, would you? Let's say Black Cat.
Now that would be interesting, actually.
Yeah, Black Cat, are you up to challenge me?
Oh my God, him and
so this is going to be like a four corner wrestling bout. We're
like
going to have Scotsman, Roll Call, Dead Horse, and Black Cat.
Are you really up for a drinking challenge? Are you really? Are you sure? Are you sure? You really?
I mean, he started doing some of his beer chats again, so maybe he's getting his liver back into training.
But I can guarantee you, my liver is going to stand way more than his is.
I hear the Rocky theme song in the background.
He said, "Are you drinking Guinness or whiskey? Both. Car bombs."
Beer
the answer is yes.
Jaeger bombs.
Beer and whiskey.
One in each hand.
All night long.
Whiskey
all night long.
It's like chocolate milk for adults.
Ooh, that's stuff's good.
Black Cat sent me a text the other day, and he said, "Well," he said, "I don't know no more Tuesday beer chats. My daughter and I forget what he said. My daughter and his niece or something found his YouTube channel."
Oh God!
I was like,
Mom, look what Daddy's doing.
Yeah, I was like, "Busted, huh?" He's like,
Black Cat, you should have put that on an age restricted to like 90.
Yeah.
Anybody drink in Boston? I don't know.
Daughter and nephew said,
I drank a fifth of Maker's Mark when I was there last.
Black Cat, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. If you want to do it, let's do it.
Be Labor Day weekend Sunday.
I'll pay to see it.
Let's do it. Do it.
I buy that from Monopoly Dollar.
Here's the thing, this is why we do this, man. I do this for Justice Final Mission. You guys want to jump in? Jump in. You can call shots all you want. Slap that money in there. Slap it in there. It all gets matched by myself and a couple other people. We will take care of it. We'll match it and throw it in there for Justice Final Mission. If you don't know what Justice Final Mission is making sure our veterans are taken care of that are on the verge of committing suicide. We are giving them an avenue, which is basically a cabin to go retreat and be able to rest and recover. So that's what we do. And we do a lot of different challenges. The last challenge was a 2-mile run, and I'm not gonna lie, dude, I almost died. I almost fucking died. Yeah, I was suffering bad.
It would have been COVID related.
So what you're saying is that you're only mostly dead right now.
Only mostly dead.
Right now, I'll say this, man. Right now, I am probably about 80%. This morning, after I get done with the run, I'm not gonna lie, I was suffering bad. It was rough. to say my back was killing me, to say my knees were killing me, to say my foot was killing me, is an understatement. And if you want to call me a pussy, go ahead, call me a pussy. But yeah, I was fucking dying.
Pussy.
Speaking of pussies, Black Cat just said that Sunday isn't good for him. He get up for work Monday. I just got up for work now.
Oh, fuck you bullshit.
Well, he actually does have a legitimate reason. He can't be drinking and driving, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he'd be good at it, though.
Black Cat,
I'm sure he might, but people need to get their toilet paper.
Black Cat, kiss my ass, you fucking little piece of shit, you fucking whining ass.
Stephen, are you trying to dethrone roll call as wound up son of a bitch?
No, that would be budget. Budget.
You literally fucking challenge me and then you cry like a little fucking bitch. Fuck you.
Come on my Friday night show and do it.
See you, Squib.
Later, Squib.
Later, Squib.
Bye, Squib.
Squib, take it easy, man.
Later, Squib.
Good night, all.
Later, Squib. Squib. Squab.
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 Scooby Squab.
For anyone out there watching and thinking,
no one's been watching for hours, bro.
No, we're literally just stress testing the system right now.
YouTube will pull it in.
But if you're still out there and you happen to be fucking watching, don't get fucking butthurt. Please, don't get butthurt. We all support each other. We all understand what's going on. We all are part of this community. And we're all here to hang out and do what we do. And there's not one person here right now that wouldn't stand up for another one. So
no, I sincerely hate Travis. I'm just saying.
He's just another Travis drone.
And he hates me too. So it's all
you
good.
hate him. you ain't got nothing.
Like Ash said, I don't even know these assholes.
When it comes to the Travi and that whole fucking
shit, RL's joined. Here we go.
Get it out.
Drinking and driving.
Someone block him, please.
What is this whiny little bitch in the chat saying?
Block this motherfucker.
You're gonna have to clarify.
That's true.
Block him. Please.
The little 160-pound stick that's making challenges here.
Hey, you know what, dude? Fuck you. I weigh more than 150 pounds, and I will beat
160.
I gave you 160.
160 with the beard.
Wait,
my beard weighs fucking 30+ pounds, easy. Fuck you.
Was it dry or wet or before or after you wash it?
It's always moist.
I'm just saying, because I trimmed mine the other day. I found a J-frame in there I thought I'd lost.
Hey, you know what? You probably did. You probably did, because it's a big-ass beard.
It was.
You got to be careful loading your guns. You get that beard caught in the chamber, man. You'd be in trouble.
Dude,
that's how it stays in there.
I ain't lying, man. It's tough, dude. You got to cock the hammer. You give it like, oh, damn.
No, that's how he braids it. He sticks it into a revolver, and that's how he braids it.
Mm-hmm. Twist it as it goes down the barrel. Hey, as a range officer type sort of guy, there's Scotsman. Did you see the video of the dude with the laser on his pistol at the range and his buddy? He was going around Instagram a little bit the other day. It had the ND.
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I saw that.
There's these two guys at the range in the videos in the lane, and apparently he must have just put like a laser on his gun, his pistol, his handgun or something, and he's holding the handgun in his right hand and he starts looking around with it. Puts it on his hand, puts his hand in front of it, I guess to see if the laser's on or something, pulls the trigger and puts a bullet through his hand.
I did see that.
Oh man.
Ouch.
He jumps back and it just starts dumping blood out of it. I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing?
I'm not been around for a while, hasn't it?
Has it? I just saw it. I thought
it's pretty old.
It's an older guy, isn't it?
Or something like that. All I can say is, guys, be safe. Take care of yourself. Practice, and if you don't know, ask. There's no shame in asking someone. There are many of us out here that will help you if you don't know.
Sometimes you just can't fix stupid, though.
You know,
You proved it was zeroed.
You're not always going to
He said it was zeroed.
I'm going to tell you right now, man. It's. I've been doing this for years. Trey's been doing this for years. C4 has been doing this for years, and so many of you guys have been. Some have qualifications, some don't. It doesn't matter. We're all here to help each other, and that's the fucking point. So, if you don't know and you need help, ask one of us to help you.
But if you shoot yourself in the hand, I will laugh at you.
And if you're that dumbass that turns around and fucking goes, hey, you know what? I'm doing this, and bam, yeah, I'm gonna laugh. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Medic.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm laughing at him. I'll treat him, but I'm gonna laugh at him.
I'm gonna laugh at your ass. And I guarantee you, every one of you motherfuckers will too. You're gonna laugh at their ass. But you'll take your kit and you'll do what you gotta do and make sure they're okay.
We were talking about it. I think we talked about it on here a while back when I saw this one online. This one was going around Instagram too. The two guys at the range. I think they were probably renting something because I mean I don't know for sure, but I kind of imagine that they were. They started taking selfies with the gun, and the one dude pointed the gun at the other guy's head and was taking a selfie, and the range officer ran up. He's like, snatched it out of his hand, and like, get the fuck out of here, man. People are crazy.
I saw that.
People.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
People don't pay attention, and you know that's been one of my biggest things since I've ever been in this industry, and I've been doing this for a long time, guys. And some of you will laugh and call bullshit, whatever. I don't give a fuck. When you're in this industry, one of the biggest things you're going to come across is people that don't pay attention. And you have to be on fucking point every time. And you may put yourself in a situation where you don't expect to be there, but you're going to be there. And you have to be. That's your job. At that point in time, that's your job. And
it's doing the thing again, Midnight.
Is it not showing it?
No.
Am I screen sharing or no? No? What the fuck, man?
Black screen.
Huh. It's weird. All right.
And no, I'm not screen sharing because that's what got us kicked off last time.
Did you guys talk about that Coast Guard shooting at the shark?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was before the show. That's before we went live. Yeah, because we were
dare
talking
that guy shoot at that shark.
But it was like
that was so funny.
It was like
I guess
10 yards from the swimmers. It was like they were like lighting them up, and there's like the angle was like right at the boat, the other rescue boat. It was crazy.
Shark talking about people
Shark
shooting
lives matter.
animals. We were talking about people shooting animals for a couple minutes while I was finishing getting the show set up, and I was on the gun feed, and that was the heading. I was like, well, there's an ironic heading. It was Coast Guard shoots, shark or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I emailed that to you like last Wednesday.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
And it popped up on the Instagram.
And
For the
then
Navy, whenever they swim, there's always somebody on watch.
yeah, they had
Watching for
a rescue boat out there, and the one guy was floating in one of those giant inflatable white swans. It was kind of nuts, man.
It was a unicorn. It was a unicorn.
Oh, was it a unicorn?
Unicorn swan. I mean, when it's turned into a little rubber floaty, does it really matter?
That's true.
I mean, I guess it does on where you can and can't sit, but
it's like riding a bike without a seat.
I mean, if that's what gets your motor running, that's don't tell me about it.
Really, I want to know while he was out there on his unicorn floaty, was he singing a song that was auto-tuned about how everybody hates him?
I think it was. Do you want to build a snowman?
Don't badmouth gun chick in front of roll call.
Hey, don't be making fun of her, man.
Everybody hates me.
Sarge, what's going on down there with you?
That was a good one.
How's anything squirrely happening, or is it pretty calm?
It's calm here. Had a few protests, and it's other places close are not so calm, but nothing crazy like would make national news or anything.
Yeah.
How about like page 2 on the local paper?
Page 1 of the paper over there, they're so dang liberal.
Local sheriff sharts himself in car while sleeping on the job. News at 11.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, don't just reach into the glove box. That chocolate bar might be a laxative.
He shaves mustache to take care of business.
Never touch part. It gets the shit out of you.
Yeah, it gets. That's right. That's what my son told me. He's like, "Wow, this virus really gets the shit out of you."
That was awesome.
Well, hopefully not, son. Since I'm mostly full of bullshit, if it gets the shit out of me, there'll be nothing left.
I had some articles pulled up, but they're all just horribly they're not really even articles. I just had some news stuff pulled up, but most of them are not even articles. They're just
blurbs.
Links to video. Yeah, it's just stupid. You can't even
really.
really.
I guess they're finally figuring out that people only really read the headlines and maybe the first paragraph, and they figured out, fuck it, we'll save on bandwidth.
Teachers executed in shooter drill sue Indiana Sheriff's Office for trauma and injury. I guess they had a
wait. If they're executed, how can they be suing if they're dead?
Yeah, it was a drill. I guess they had a. That says a childhood friend paid tribute.
A mock drill.
Yeah, like
active
a drill.
It
said an active shooter drill went too far at an Indiana elementary school, drawing real blood and causing true trauma for the teachers playing victim, according to a lawsuit filed this month against the sheriff's office that put on the mock exercise. Teachers at Meadtown Elementary School came to work January 4th, 2019. I guess this is an old-ass article. Aware of the planned training, but not what the White County Sheriff's Office, boy, could that sound any more racist? White County Sheriff's Office had in store, the lawsuit says. The training included high-velocity plastic pellets fired at point-blank range, breaking skin, leaving scars, screaming, expletives, and verbal abuse, according to the suit. They just lit these teachers up, man. The teachers displayed obvious signs of anguish and physical pain, but were humiliated to find the law enforcement officers joking and laughing at them, the suit said. The experience caused lasting physical and emotional injuries, and a group of 8 teachers seeking compensation.
So are they talking airsoft, or are they talking that simunition shit?
It basically sounds like simunitions, but regardless, if you're going to put yourself in that kind of situation, you need to be prepared for what you're going to deal with. And
it doesn't sound like they knew. It really doesn't sound like they knew what it was going to be like. You know what I mean? It sounds like.
Hey, we're going to have an active shooter scenario training for everyone. Everyone needs to come in by 8:00 on Tuesday.
Yeah, they used airsoft. It says
there probably was meetings and everything, and they were playing like Angry Birds or something, not paying attention.
That's true. That could be too. This is what happens when you cower and do nothing.
Whenever you face live fire, no matter whether it be airsoft or whatever, you're gonna have problems, and you got to be ready for it. And unfortunately, no matter what kind of situation we put ourselves in, we're never going to be ready for it.
They should have used paintball. Would have been much safer.
An actual paintball, not the riot grade stuff.
Yeah, they're just basically saying that the cops are assholes. I mean, they're just saying that they just unloaded on them and shot them till the airsoft pistols ran dry and stuff.
But if you're trying to simulate an active shooter scenario, that is not outside of the realm of a reasonable possibility for an active shooter scenario.
It's not. We got C4 Defense out there. We got Trey out there, and a lot of other people out there that can probably relate to when it comes down to it. It ain't gonna stop until it stops.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be ready for that. And unfortunately, one of the biggest problems we have, whether we're civilian, not civilian, if we are military, not military, if we are police, not police, one of the biggest problems we have is none of us are prepared. None of us. We think we are, but we're not. And some people may take that the wrong way, but I'm telling you right now, that's pretty much how it goes. None of us are prepared for what we think is going to happen.
It says officers were supposed to be conducting ALICE training, a program that has been taught in thousands of schools and businesses, according to the company's website, and promotes proactive strategies for active shooters. Though the officers were certified ALICE instructors and had provided training at schools and workplaces for years, the program never calls for shooting participants with high-velocity pellets or ever using force on participants without first obtaining their consent. Oh, so it sounds like they didn't tell them what they were going to do. I've worked with teachers in other districts who have gone through ALICE, and this did not happen. Indiana State Teachers Association official said, this is not normal practice. 2 teachers have sought psychiatric help. They have PTSD and all that shit. But it is pretty shitty if they didn't know that was going to happen, man. I'd be kind of pissed off, too. Be like, well, fucking, you got to, kind of prepare yourself for that,
Yeah, especially if this wasn't something where, this kind of thing is the norm for what the other ones is. It's just, no. Bill thought it'd be a real laugh riot to fuck with these people, so we figured why not.
Mm.
Baby shark. Faust, what are you typing? Are you okay? You having a seizure there, bud?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Homeowner fires warning shots at rioters threatening neighborhood, and it's just video clips.
Oh, is that old dude in your state there?
Milwaukee?
No, I was thinking that dude who was the people who were supposedly marching from Milwaukee to D.C. and
and again, this is just
a while ago.
It says the heading and then it just shows videos. There's no actual story to read.
No content.
So. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. I don't know why do that and not have like some facts about what happened. It's kind of shitty.
Because that's the point. They don't want facts. They want truth. That's the fucking problem.
Well, it's just easier to throw together a video and Then
But
have
that's
someone actually do a.
bullshit to the people and let the people believe what the people will believe instead of providing actual fucking facts.
Man shot by teen in Kenosha admits teen acted in self-defense. That's the title, but I can't find anywhere in the article that he actually said that. In fact, it said, he had made a statement on somewhere about wishing that he had not hesitated and had shot him.
Emptied his mag in his body, he said.
Yeah, he has a criminal record that includes being intoxicated and armed with not that night, but that's what his charge was. Which I don't really give a shit about the guy's charges. Like, just because you've done bad shit in the past doesn't mean you deserve to be shot. I'll be the first one to say that, but they probably deserve to be shot because they were assaulting somebody.
And again, man, this kid did what he had to do. There's a lot of things that come into play that could be argued back and forth. And some people may disagree with me, and I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just playing devil's advocate. At the end of the day, though, I still agree that the kid did what he had to do and was in the right. But I can tell you right now, there's people out there watching this that are going to go, well, he disagrees, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm not disagreeing with anything. This kid did what he had to do. He stood up for his ground and fought the fight. But there's a lot of things that come to question.
Waiting for Perry.
Skynet, is that you?
Skynet. Oh no.
What the hell?
Yeah, what's going on
Yeah,
there?
we're getting engine noise from you real loud. There you go. Thanks, bud.
Brrr. Vroom, vroom goes the truck. Beep, beep.
Somebody motorboating? What?
Yeah. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot. I was looking through articles. There's not a ton of stuff to talk about. I mean, it's a couple of, big stuff. We did a lot of talking about that stuff, but there's not a whole lot of interesting. Military Expo shows Russia's new AK-19. Well, if it's Russian, we can't get it here anyway, right?
Is that a shoddy?
Yeah. Is that
bullpup?
a shorty? It's a bullpup.
It's a shoddy pup.
Every day.
Every single
day. Blow your head off, or whatever it is. Whatever.
Other than that, I'm kind of attached to my head.
I haven't heard much from that Yahoo much lately. Things have been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I already have a hole in my head. Ever since everybody started making fun of his videos, man, I think he just went, I think I'm just gonna shut up. Right
there's so many videos on YouTube trashing him. There's tons of them. You can imagine how pissed off he is. God damn, I look like a fucking asshole.
Every single day he does.
Well, you know what? You gotta be an asshole, you're an asshole. Period. That's it. Fuck it. You got a fucking name for yourself. Boom, there you go.
He probably wakes up every morning going,
I have almost, damn it.
I'm surprised he doesn't make another
over
video.
1,200 subscribers based on being an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't make another video explaining why he said what he said, to kind of clarify.
That's exactly how my channel grows. I'm an asshole. My channel grows.
Who are we talking about again? Because I cannot think of it.
Grandmaster.
Jam-Master, Whackmaster J. Wham Jammer Master.
Oh, yeah.
Funkadelic.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
I was thinking the every single day thing, and it's like, why can I not think of where that's coming from?
What could you say, though? That's the thing. Like, he put that damn video out, and everybody jumped on him. Everybody that knows anything about any, ARs at all, even novices, we're like, dude, what the fuck is this guy talking about? What do you say? Like, what do you go on and be like, I was just kidding. I gotcha.
Yeah, right. April Fools.
I'll give the guy credit. I always wanted a bullpup, and now I find out I have one. And it's got
I got one in there too. I can't believe it.
20-inch barrel.
But again, that kind of falls into the whole fucking thing, man. Of we fall into this narrative and start following these different directives. And hey, here's one guy. Guess what? We're all following this guy. You know.
Yeah, that dude's a mess. He's gonna get people hurt for sure, man. They keep doing what they're doing. There's so many. I mean, that group has so many people in it that are not even. I can't even say untrained, because there's a lot of people that are gun owners that are untrained, but they know a lot. They've learned a lot. They haven't had any formal training, maybe, but that doesn't mean that they're unsafe or that they don't know how their weapons work or they don't know proper etiquette or and terminology and whatever. But there's a lot of people in those groups. When I've watched some of the videos on their meetings or whatever, their get-togethers, their marches, there's people that they have, the way they talk to them, you can tell there's a lot of people in those groups that have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And it's super dangerous, man.
My one thing to people that are not trained per se, that fall in these groups, that have no specific direction, would be reach out, ask people. We're all here to help each other, and there's not one of us here that's going to tell you we know it all, because we don't. We straight up don't. I know a lot of different things, but I will never tell you I know it all. It's never going to happen. We all have different things we know, all have different things we can share, and we all learn from each other. And, for example, we got Ghost out there that I learn from all the time. Me and Trey, we're friends, we know each other, and we talk to each other. I learn from them all the time. There's many others that I learn from all the time. But we talk to each other, and that's the biggest key. Talk to each other, share the information. Don't be afraid to learn something new.
I took my training from watching Stripes 20 times.
There you go. How to drive those armored vehicles. So there is an article on the gun feed, and the heading was Glock store in San Diego being forced to release customers' names. And it's just this is a people of the state of California versus GS Performance, so LLC, the Glock store. And it looks like they're trying to make them the Glock store is a prominent San Diego-based business. It sells various firearms and firearm parts, including gun kits and parts that are sold for self-assembly into Glock and Sig Sauer type handguns. In other words, in addition to traditional guns, Glock store sells kits or parts that allow consumers to assemble a gun in their home after purchase. These self-assembly are called ghost guns when, as is often the case, they contain no serial numbers. No background checks required, render them untraceable. And this is a big, this isn't like an article. This is actually in the court paperwork here. And it's 104 pages. So I probably shouldn't go through the whole thing, but the sale of guns that evade serialization raise public concerns. So I'm assuming by the headline that they're trying to force the Glock store to give over the names or information of people that have bought 80%ers and stuff. which is a weird legal thing because you don't have to give out the information of somebody that had bought a firearm, I guess, right? I mean, you're not supposed to have lists of firearms and stuff. Obviously, 4473s.
There is nothing out there that says you have to give up that information.
All right.
As far as Glock goes, let me try to be nice about this one because y'all know I hate fucking Glock. Yeah, that's tough.
Now the thing with this is because they're not firearms, can the government go into any business that produces any product? Let's say you make shovels. Could you go to a manufacturer that makes shovels and say or a business that sells shovels and say, we need to know who you sold shovels to? I mean, that shit happens all the time when they backtrack like crimes. They go back and they try and figure out where they bought something from, and they go and they'll get the surveillance cameras and the information that they if they purchase with a card or something, they'll find the credit card and find out where they live or something. You know what I mean? Like they do that kind of stuff. So can they do?
If you talk in retrospect to the firearms themselves, technically yes, they could if they wanted to.
And this isn't technically a firearm, so it would be just like any other product. I guess they would be allowed to go in.
But the business still has a choice of turning over that information or not. And if they refuse to, then they'd have to go get a warrant or something from a judge saying, hey, you have to give this information up.
Yeah.
Right.
And the biggest thing is the minute someone turns around and says it's a firearm, that's when the whole program changes.
The Attorney General is investigating whether Glock Store has engaged in unlawful, unfair, or fraudulent practices or false advertising in connection with its advertising and sale of handgun kits and parts for self-manufacture. This includes whether the company misled consumers concerning the legality of self-assembled firearms or their compliance with state safety. Okay, so they're saying that they were selling them and not informing people that it could be illegal, I guess. In the fall of 2019, the Attorney General issued an investigative subpoena and interrogatories to Glock Store seeking information about the above business practices. The subpoena sought documents related to the advertising and sale of handgun kits or parts for self-assembly, including advertisements and instructions or educational information provided to consumers, internal documents concerning the legality of self-assembly handguns, and Glock Store's related business practices and communications with and compliance from consumers.
So is this talking about the 80% lowers?
It sounds 80% lowers, and I guess
because like Glock, I saw a video of Glock where you can buy a pistol lower, and it's bare, right? And it gives you the handle, the pistol grip, as if it was a Glock, like a Glock 17, say, right? Mm-hmm. And the slide is like for a regular slide, like if you had a Glock 19 and maybe the pistol grip was too small, the pistol grip would be a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, so you could hold it and stuff. But you still had to assemble the parts. You had to put your trigger kit, you got to put the safety and all this stuff. But the thing is, you still had to go through an FFL to get it, though. If you bought it from them, you had to get. And any other part, it depends if you assemble like barrels, the slides, the slide and all that stuff, like trigger kits and parts, to replace like slide lock levers and safeties and shit like that. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know what assembling guns, like if you can buy parts to assemble a gun, you still got to get the lower, through an FFL.
Yep. No, he's 100% right, and it's a tough situation when it comes to that. We all got to be careful, and we all got to pay attention. And there's gonna be a bunch of you out there that are gonna say, you know what, go ahead, do this, do this, do this, do this. And there are some people who will step up and they'll go ahead and do what they got to do.
It says Glock store may have violated and may continue to violate consumer protection laws in a number of ways, including but not limited to deceptive marketing regarding the legality of self-manufacturing handguns and whether such handguns would meet state safety requirements. And they were just talking about having websites. Their website has, how-to videos on how to do it, and it's weird. It's a weird. I mean, just because
here's my thing, man. When it comes down to it, we all got to be looking out for ourselves, and it sucks. It really sucks because there's a lot of problems out there, and 9 times out of 10, I ain't looking out for you. You ain't looking out for me. And I hate to say that, but that's how it is. And we all got to step up and do what we got to do. And 10 times out of 10, you're on your own.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is kind of weird because they're going after the company for basically not saying, they're basically saying that Glock store is not letting people know that if they put this together, it's illegal in California. But is that the responsibility of the business? I mean, you got to know that, what do they say? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You know what I mean? Like, it's no excuse for, how's that slogan? Ignorance of the law is no excuse, basically. So, I mean, if you buy the parts and put them together and now you've got an illegal weapon, like, is that their fault?
Well, and again, if you break it down, technically, if everything is in compliance with what they say, then it's not illegal. It's only illegal if it's not in compliance with the orders and the things that they have in place. So it's a two-edged sword. You got to be real careful with it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. I don't know what exactly the laws are with, serial numbers and having what's on the registry and what's not. I don't really know enough about California, I guess, legally to really say if it makes sense or not.
Just take a normal state. Fuck it. Take a normal state. Doesn't matter what fucking state it is. Fuck it. Missouri. Missouri is for 99% of the time, it's a pretty open state. No matter what you do, you still are reliant on the things that you end up being responsible for. So, for example, we're fucking walking down the street, blah 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 blah. Ain't nothing happening. Going down the street, all fucking normal. Bam. Now I gotta fucking draw my gun and start shooting people. It's a whole fucking different thing. But at the same time, it's not. And that's where people get confused. And where people tend to get diverse and lose track of where they're at.
Yeah, I do know that watching the Glock videos when they talk about a product and stuff, I don't remember them ever saying, if you put this product, in your gun, you may be violating your law depending what state you live. I don't remember them ever saying that. I just remember that here's how you put the safety in your Glock, or this is how you change the trigger group, and that's all they say.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you would think that a company would have sort of like a disclaimer, even if it's in the description of the video or something, like know your local rules and regulations before attempting any whatever. But maybe they didn't. And I mean, we as small YouTube people, like, we don't do that kind of shit either, like, you don't always say like, oh, make sure you know your local regulations before attempting it. Sometimes we do, but not always. But you would think a company that's, a well-established, a larger, popular company or something would have a lot of those kind of angles covered, where all the videos would say, don't do it unless you're allowed to, basically.
Yeah, modifying your weapon may be illegal in your state or something.
You think they would have some kind of disclaimer. Now, it did say that, they didn't have, they had contacted them about doing stuff and they hadn't got back to them, blah, blah, blah. This is a hell of a huge ass document. So, like I said, it's like 100. Now, a lot of it does have pictures and stuff too, where they're talking about it's all sideways. It's weird. I don't know why they have it sideways.
Particular violations.
For anyone watching, just so you all know, Midnight has a lot of issues with pictures.
Yeah.
He's not that literate. So if you think right now that you're watching this and you're trying to figure it out, just stop. Please stop.
There's a truckload of like legal mumbo jumbo in here too. This term includes but not limited to all the items sold by you under the heading 80% build kits, 80% lower upper parts kit, lower parts kit, polymer 80, slides, pyramid trigger, whatever that is, builder tool set, syndicate kit, upper. It's just not very straightforward. It would be nice
enough
if they
legalese to choke a wide-necked animal.
Oh, for sure. There's tons of it here.
That's the problem. That and there lies the problem with everything. When we get to this stuff, it literally is the fact that how they put it, how they explain it, is broken down to the point where no one can understand it. Not you, not me, no one. And you can sit there and try all you fucking want. You can spend thousands of fucking dollars. You ain't gonna get anywhere. You're not. Yeah. You're fucking not. Because it's designed to fucking screw us. That's what it's designed for. Whether you like it or not, that's the design. The design is to screw us. Period.
Is Glock Store only in California, or is there other ones? Do you guys know? I don't know anything about them.
I think there is another store somewhere in another state.
He's opening one in Nashville.
Yeah, somewhere on there. Because it was first only in California, and then I remember the owner says that they had another store, and
they're not associated with Glock firearms at all, right? They're just their own. It's just a business, right?
Nah, it's their own business.
Right.
Which is hilarious because you can't own anything after a Gen 3 Glock in California.
Right. Yeah.
So what if you went in and paid cash? Are they going to be able to get your information? Are they having you fill out paperwork at the store of any kind for warranty or any BS like that? Or are you in the clear if you pay cash?
California, you have to fucking fill out a form just to buy ammo. Assuming parts are probably the same way.
Well, I know they talked about that. I don't know if that bill went through. I know there was a bill a year ago or so that was they were trying to do the ammo and gun parts, any kind of parts would be, you would require like a background check or something. But I don't think the parts thing went through. I think just the ammo part went through. I don't know. It just seems like a hell of a precedent to set, because you're not going to get information on a product that was bought by somebody that committed a crime. Like I was saying earlier, like somebody commits a crime and they backtrack it back to here, or they think somebody committed a crime and they used the camera and found them there and they found out what they bought and blah, 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 all this stuff. This is just general people. And you just don't really see that very often. You know, I don't remember seeing it really where they're like, we need to know everybody that bought this or what everybody bought. Not even everybody that bought this product, but we want to know everybody that bought everything, anything. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's a weird precedent to set. So
well, that kind of happened with those rifle scopes that link to your phone, and they tracked down everybody who bought one.
Oh, was that a quality control thing though? Was that a product like were they defective?
They were saying there was something illegal about them, but I don't remember exactly. It was a little while ago now.
Oh wow, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that wasn't Sightmark, was it?
I don't.
Where you had to register it on your phone, and it was Bluetooth in, and
yeah. Sorry, I had my mic up. Yeah, they went through the sales receipts or something like that to get all the customers, and then tracked them all down.
Wow, that was
interesting. Yeah,
I would just say I don't have a mobile phone. You could have my house phone.
Yeah.
You get that 20-foot cord that's all tangled up.
Yeah, big long one. Yeah, it's funny. You got a 40-foot cord, but it's so tangled up it only goes 10 feet anyway.
It's so fun. Kids will never know the joy of being tethered to the kitchen phone.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
So what's your new channel name, Black Cat? No, you got to switch it for...
Yeah, you got busted, man. Now what are you going to do?
I don't know.
We should do a poll. Do a poll. See what we could name it.
Black Cat now has 4 videos on his channel. He only has 4 left. He pulled them all. They're the only one. There was only 4 videos that he didn't use horrible profanity in, and those are the only ones left. Or there was some balls and butthole in them or something.
Amber.
That one's been pulled for years. That video doesn't even exist anymore.
It looked like it was.
So you think?
It looked like it was pulled for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Pulled and stretched.
And stretched, yeah.
Used routinely.
Definitely not using the lotion to paper.
Ouch. He's a Charmin.
Angel Soft all the way, man.
I went through, and most of my old live streams haven't had a view in like a fucking year anyway, so I pulled all that down.
Yeah, they usually don't. You'll get views for like a week and a half, and then that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go back to the previous channel name you had. They'd find that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Jan is gay.
That's right.
Still say you need to change it to Gato Negro. They won't find it if it's in Spanish.
There you go. Don Gato.
El Gato de Blanco.
Gato Negro afuera.
English. Do you spick it? What? Speak.
Ranglish?
Ranglish? Yeah, I know. I fucked up.
Remember, if you want to speak Spanish and you don't know Spanish, just add O to the end of the word. Like, hi, can I see your caro?
Okay,
I see
you
your
give
license-o?
$1 for Happy Time-o? What?
I like that taco.
Not funny, but that's literally true for my name.
Black Cato. Or just
Cano
B-O.
del Taco? O? Wait, so I have to add an O to the end of taco, so it's a taco O?
Uh-oh.
Taco.
Oh, they're making a taco.
That's
you
all
add-
they're going to Taco Bell. Taco.
You add L at the beginning. El Taco.
El Taco O?
Shouldn't it be La Taco? I mean, that looks more like female stuff anyway.
Are we still live?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Are we still live?
this definitely isn't getting bold.
Barely. We're just mostly alive.
Taco.
Yeah.
El queso está
I ask
podrido.
myself
¿Dónde está el
that every
sanitario?
morning.
Taco O's.
I
New
forget
from
who-
General Mills, it's Taco O's.
I forget who it was that didn't understand when I asked him if he preferred fish tacos or a hot dog.
Well, the real question is the taco a sandwich?
¿Te gusta tacos del pescado o te gusta los salchiches?
A street taco.
Somebody want to hit the SAP button for that guy? Is it even still a thing?
It's a
SAP
third world
buttons?
sandwich.
Oh,
ones with
cerveza, por favor.
The ones with the hard taco, and then it's wrapped in like is that a gordita or something? It's wrapped in the soft one. Those are fucking.
You talking like a Taco Bravo?
Oh, you got
they
the
use
hard,
like refried beans as like
Taco
glue.
Bell.
Yeah,
The
you
Taco
got the
Bell,
beans
soft
and
taco
beans.
and
I was
crunchy
talking
taco
Taco
together.
John's.
Yeah, I don't really want tacos now. I eat the hell out of some tacos right now.
When we're done
You can
here,
say shit.
my wife made fajitas.
Fajitas.
Well, la-di-da
Fajitas.
for you. Fajitas?
So you made belts?
Did she bring it to you in that sizzling iron skillet?
No, Fujitas. That's a Super Saiyan.
Doritos tacos, enough said.
There you go. Dorito tacos is good.
Now, are they the flaming hot Dorito tacos, or are they the Cool Ranch Dorito tacos?
Either way,
Regular
they'll be
Doritos.
flaming.
I like when they say, "Hey, I got some gorditas." I say, "Hey, okay, you like fat women? Okay, no problem."
Well, everybody likes something that's cuddly and fluffy now and then.
Oh, there you go,
my
Black
neighbor,
Cat.
The kind that block out the sun.
Yeah, there you
No,
go, Black Cat.
not really.
It's fluffy
I'm
outdoor.
seeing your face.
Big girls need loving too.
They just got to pay for it.
And shower.
Preferably both.
Yes, shower.
What do you think, Black Cat? Could it be fluffy outdoors?
Fluffy outdoors. There you go.
Or
Dark
I could do a
fluffy?
B. I could do a B channel for doing late night chats.
I like
Full
Buffalo
bush
Outdoors.
outdoors.
Fluffy app.
Your initials are BO. Just go
So
Buffalo
midnight, is this
Outdoors.
chat gonna stay up now? Or?
Yeah.
Gotta
That's
get
with the
bold.
FO.
Furry outdoors. Yeah, you probably don't want to name it Furry Outdoors. You might be getting some interesting clientele.
Just name it Full Bush Outdoors.
Full
bush
face
outdoors.
bush.
Then you can just drink bush beer on it.
There you go, Bush Outdoors.
I don't know if I can do
Budweiser.
that.
Well,
I mean,
you
I'd
could
have
just
to drink
call
bush beer.
you could call it Natty Outdoors.
Full bush. Speaking of full bush, where the hell did Scotsman go? He's out now.
Yeah, he dropped. That's why it got kind of quiet.
Hmm. And the bullshit really started flying.
When you lost Ghost, I was upset because you said you were having trouble with your getting pictures up there. You could have just had Ghost draw them out. You know he's got some crayons sitting right there now.
Yeah, but we don't want to listen to him slobbering on them. I mean,
Yeah.
the way he erases the page is by licking it. You do know that.
He was tired. He needed his beauty sleep.
Just have that retainer sound in the background. The whole.
The retainer.
Do you have to do that on air? Yeah. This one's grape colored. I'm not letting that one go to waste.
That sounded so ASMR. I'm like, what the heck are people doing that, man? You ever see any of those videos? Now we're gonna be doing some ear licking. We're gonna be doing some ear licking. Gross. And I'm kind of like, what the heck is that ear licking thing? You know, I'm like, I don't know whether to like relax or to like, start jerking off or something. You know, what the hell, man?
I mean, that's more a reflection on you than it is the content.
I apologize. That is real bad, but seriously, people listening to people ear licking is crazy. I don't find
that's way more than I ever needed to know about you, George.
No, that was just explaining what, I mean,
explaining what he was doing last night. We
Christmas list just got bigger.
We do not. We understand without condemning or condoning.
Fine, Ape, you need to do the little. Or no, is Obnoxious still in here?
No, he's not. Ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, the fetishes and ideas of Mr. George do not reflect the ideas and fetishes of Midnight Range TM, Guns and Barbecue, DM Vows, C4 Defense,
True
Live Move, Black Cat Fuzzy Outdoors, soon to be Furry Guy Outdoors, or Fine 83093. The views, opinions, and fetishes of George are completely and solely and fully and wholly the views and opinions of George.
And I don't condone it.
Without condemning.
Yes.
We are very understanding, but we will laugh at you.
George is degenerate.
It's not kink shaming when you're laughing with somebody.
I don't know when somebody opens up their phone to show something on air, and the first thing that pops up is something they didn't think it was.
I don't know whether to relax or jerk off.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of one thing? You do one to do the other.
Isn't that hilarious, man? I'm just like, what the heck is these people doing, man?
One of the first ones I saw that was like an eating thing was this lady with these like long, crazy fingernails, and she was all up in the. She was real close to the camera, and she was eating like peel and eat shrimp.
Oh God!
And it was like George was saying, just slurping and slucking and slopping on and sucking her fingers and these long ass fucking fingernails. Dude, it was gross as shit. It was
I watched the whole 15
gross.
minutes of it.
I watched like 5 seconds of it and I couldn't take it. I was like, oh
Dude,
my God.
Now, Midnight, were these like the weird ass gnarled fingernails you see on the picture of the guy who's got like the world's longest fingernails, or were they like the freaking
like corkscrews
fake ones that are like 3 inches long and sharpened to points?
I mean, I don't know if they were fake or not, but they were probably 3 inches or so.
Well, you know, they're kind of
like,
bad.
You can't do anything with them. Like, you're always trying to grab things like this, and she's like grabbing them. It was, dude, I got about 6 seconds into it, and I was like, oh God.
You got 6 seconds in, you didn't know whether to relax or.
It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that these people get like so many views and so many subscribers and stuff, and I'm kind of like,
for sure.
Oh man, how is this possible?
That's the same chick that has a giant curly ass toenails too, sticking out of her flip flops.
There you go, Black Cap. It's a new name
I never understood. I never understood women having
relax or jerk off.
Sounds like
I don't understand why women have long nails and stuff. Like, how do you go to the restroom?
Very carefully.
Guess what? Yeah.
Well, you also notice they never sharpen them into points. They're always rounded.
That's not true. There's a lot of. I think that's kind of like a thing now, where sometimes they're doing them into like points. They're real pointy looking. They're terrifying.
Well, yeah, it's a way of saying, hey, don't screw with me.
Yeah.
Or I'll claw your face out, because I saw the Wolverine.
Yeah, I am the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
I saw Logan. I can be X-23 if I want to be.
El Wolverino.
They're just
El
testing
Wolverino.
Just testing your gag reflex.
Wolverino Biblioteca Tequila.
El Wolverino.
There you go, Black Cat. Black Wolverine Outdoors.
Black Wolverine.
There you go.
That's racist.
Also negro. Black bear.
Well, I mean,
black honey badger outdoors.
Honey badger
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And
The kids would probably never look up MILF outdoors.
Here's one. Here's one. We call it Taquache. Taquache Outdoors.
Look, Black
Awesome Outdoors.
Black Cat, just go onto Google and look up some random, like, Chinese characters and just fill it in there and just call it good.
Mm-hmm.
Anime Outdoors.
Straight from the utter outdoors.
The Marshall Yanker.
The Marshall Yanker.
Remember, boys.
Anybody else have anything else? Or we're gonna
only to say, ladies, gentlemen, Jonases, if we have offended you in any way, shape, or form, or if our
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or if our standards are not up to your standards, please remember to send all hate mail, all suggestions, and nudes to shootingleftocenter@gmail.com. That is our complaint department. All one word, no L.
One L. There you go.
Any complaints on my commentary, please send them to shootingleftocenter.com or gmail.com.
.org. .gov.
.gov/.net/RU.
Uh-oh, he scared Sarge off.
Oh, he took off.
We mentioned Yankee.
Yeah.
He had to go rinse his eyes out.
Those guys are tight. Sure.
So, as a matter of fact, last time they were together, they started a forest fire with their mustaches. It's just a joke, Sarge. Please don't swap my ass.
Yeah.
Either way.
Just because there's several small woodland creatures living in that thing.
Well, you eat enough. If you don't rinse all the apple fritter gunk out of there, it builds up all the oil.
Cinnabon.
Gross.
Ooh. There's something I haven't had in years. Is Cinnabon.
Cinnabon's disgusting.
Cinnabon's is excellent, especially the center. It's the best part with the goo and all the extra cinnamon and sugar and buttercream.
Whoa, easy, buddy. Take it easy.
Sounds like prom night.
Sounds like diabetes.
Look, man, Rick Sanchez has this Szechuan sauce. I have the gooey center of Cinnabon cinnamon rolls. All right, it's just a thing.
Rick Sanchez.
Diabetes. And on that diabetes note, if nobody else has anything, anybody want to give a plug? Anybody got anything going on that they want to plug quick?
I got a giveaway going on. So
sure do.
Go check out my channel, and I'll box up some junk if you win and send it to you.
Junk. Step 1, you get a box. Step 2, I throw some junk in it.
Hey, who wants some junk?
Wait, who wants some random crap I don't want no more?
Hey, I just found all this garbage laying in my garage. Who wants it? You're a winner.
Well, these bottles are worth 10 cents a piece.
15 if you rinse them out and bring them to them yourself.
There you go.
Ouch.
Anybody else have anything?
Herpes.
Other than that,
dog paddle.
There you go. If not, Ape, you want to take us out?
Take us out, Ape.
Oh, I think we were out long time ago. With nameless self-promotion and shenanigans aside, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. This concludes our regular programming, but we'll be back later with more regular, slightly less regular. It all depends on how much fiber we get to eat. So, the Gun Channel's community Monday night programming schedule is at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's hasty headlines with never enough ammo. Find out how the world is slowly circling even faster towards utter and complete oblivion. And some random go fuck yourselves. It's a laugh a minute. At 7 p.m. Eastern, it's the Polite Society podcast on Facebook, and Travis P11's Caliber Corner is not there anymore. Quit asking me. At 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clovertax MOA Monday, only on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's locked and loaded on YouTube whenever he decides to do another one. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geek podcast, The Week in Geek. That should be fun. A little bit of sunshine and go fuck yourselves about the Star Wars and the ever-darkening world. And every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Check out GunTube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro-2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and help support the platform for less than the cost of a cup of slightly rancid coffee that is Diet Beef Soda regular. You too can help support a video sharing platform that is free from corporate censorship. For cool and unique two-way swag, like pretty much any patch you see here on this panel, except for a couple there, like that Kool-Aid one. That's mine. That's rare. It can't be made anymore. And
those are hard to get a hold of. Those are hard to get.
Because somebody got a cease and desist from Kraft Foods and Company.
That's
and ladies
true.
and gentlemen, you do not fuck with Kraft Foods. They will fuck you over like Disney has fucked over Star Wars.
Hell yeah, they'll rip your ass out.
But for cool and unique two-way swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. That's gearwebsites.com for cool and unique two-way swag. And remember, hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy. Keep your guns rolled, your chambers loaded, and your head on a swivel.
For sure.
Earl.
And,
Earl.
Thanks for watching, guys. I
Earl,
appreciate you guys.
Fridge.
That's right. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks to all the guys that were in the chat tonight. You had a good time. A lot of good back and forth. So I always really like that. I appreciate it. We can just have some open conversations and talk about stuff, and just whatever happens without getting in any arguments and people being pissed off. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy. See you.
Good night, John Boy.
Please refrain from urinating in the cryogenic food storage unit.